don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcos. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit her with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still till it's all with the show, and till then it's half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm alive by the motor. No proof. I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what? What is a star? Like another city, the driver's side fly. Wish I could large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as could be. You can watch on YouTube with view for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hello, Leroy.
What's up?
How are you, buddy?
I'm all right. Marlins, longest winning streak, longest road winning streak in what, a year or two?
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yes, they won their 10th straight yesterday. Smacked around the Cincinnati Reds, kicked their ass. A great performance by the Fish, who continue to stay in this, trying to climb up claw their way up those wild card standings, Leroy.
They'll be, I mean, like, kind of get a feeling that a lot of teams in baseball are fading or going through that rut. And the Marlins did it early, and now they're starting to get some momentum.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing really great over the last 3 weeks. The bats, I think that's been, probably the revelation of the year, is that they got a lot of guys who can knock the ball out of the park, especially Agustín Ramírez and Kyle Stowers. But, I mean, Ramirez yesterday, whew, what a moon blast he hit. And you know what's got to be a bad feeling as a pitcher? A la Jack Parkman in Major League, where you hit the ball and it goes foul like 400 feet. You just nailed it. And then you're like, all right, all I got to do is just, not throw him something, and he's not going to hit the next one out. And sure as bleep, next pitch.
When I was thinking of Parkman,
he crushed it, dude.
When I was thinking of Parkman, I was thinking the other part of that when he goes, if you hit this, you can name it.
Yep. We won't say what he named it. But wasn't very nice. You guys can go look up the clip if you haven't seen it. I was trying to explain to my son over the weekend who Bob Uecker was, because the Marlins honored the late great Bob Uecker at the series this past week on the last game. So they put up like a montage, and then rest in peace Bob Uecker, all that. So it was kind of cool. And then
I think a lot of people don't remember the dude played baseball.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think he was more known as a broadcaster.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think the thing he was most known for, I would imagine, was Major League, being Harry Doyle.
Which is crazy, right? Because he was an announcer for a very long time.
At least that's what I know him, most for. I know, like, either this is not only the Brewers, he was a longtime announcer, face of Miller Lite for a while.
Yeah, remember he did those. He did a lot of those commercials.
Yep.
And that's kind of. So it kind of all played out. He was an announcer.
Frogboy, you know Bob Uecker, or he's even at. You don't know Bob Uecker?
Not at all. But
you don't know. Hold on. You've never seen Major League?
No, I was even looking at what you guys were talking about with the if you get a piece of it, you can rename it. Something about a guy named Wild Thing. I don't know what's going on here. But Bob Uecker, no idea. But when you called him the face of Miller Lite, I'm like, is that a thing really that you're like, hey, I was the face of Miller Lite? But I'm sure whenever he was, it was probably more respectable then.
Well, yeah, back in the day, it was Bud Light, Miller Lite. That's it.
Yeah.
They didn't have the fancy beer. They didn't have Heineken and all that stuff.
I had the most curmudgeon beer guy in the world, because I was like, do they still do beer guys at Marlins games? Because it's the only sport I think where people vent. Do they do that at football games anymore, where a guy vents during the game?
Yeah. Remember,
Do
they
they?
have the guy with the cans.
So they still do that at football games.
Yeah, but here's what sucks. And I'm gonna tell you why I've never drank a beer at any game. Because you get this giant can of beer for $27, right? And you're committed, you're gonna buy the beer. Then they pour it into a cup. So you got this big ass beer in a cup. It gets warm before you get a chance to drink it, and warm beer is the worst. So I'm never like, it's not as refreshing except for the first couple of sips.
Well, the guy who comes there, I mean, like there used to be legendary beer men in this town, especially Elephant Man. He was that was a true legend back in the day. But this guy he comes into the section that we're in, just plots down his beer, and he goes, "Anybody want beer?" It's just like that's your sales pitch.
Remember was your guy like, we got these new wave stadium guys now.
Hmm?
Where they throw you a tennis ball or something like that, and you put the money in the tennis ball so you can launch it back at him.
The only guy I remember doing that, there was a famous peanut guy at the Marlins games who did that gimmick, where he would throw you the tennis ball and he would get very angry because he was hilarious. He was the peanut guy, and he wore the disguise mask of big nose with the glasses and mustache with the beanie hat.
Right.
And he would throw you the tennis ball and everybody be kind of confused. And he goes, "Put the money in the ball, throw the ball. Not rocket science." And that dude, I mean, he could have played center field for the Marlins, even as
because he was accurate.
I mean, I'm sure he was only 45, but at my mind, he looked like he was 64. But he had a rocket for an arm. I mean, that dude he had the accuracy of Marino if he had to throw a tennis ball 5, 6, 7 rows away. Pew! Just bullets all over the place, and he'd get his money back. He'd put the change back. He'd even throw quarters back. He goes, unless you, of course, wanted to give him a tip. And I mean, that guy was an absolute legend back at the old Hard Rock Dolphins Pro Player Stadium.
Like you got it.
Land Shark.
It's like 5 names to go back to baseball,
Joe Robbie.
Right?
Yeah.
I know some people that still call it Joe Robbie.
Some people, you probably just should. You probably should.
The older crew.
Hard Rock now has a different identity because it has the canopy with the thing. Like it looks like a destination now. So I feel like Hard Rock has now taken over as that's Hard Rock Stadium. But we went through a time where, I mean, it was changing names every week. Jimmy Buffett had it for a year. It was like, it was crazy. But no, this guy anyway. So he's like, "Yeah, anybody want beer?" I'm like, "That's your pitch. You used to." And then some kid goes, "Do you have any water?" And he goes, "I got beer." I was like, Jesus.
Wow.
I mean, usually that guy has some energy. Ice cold beer.
I was like, this guy he was done. And it was a pretty good crowd on Sunday, too. I can't imagine sales were that slow.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude.
I mean, if you go to the concession to buy a beer, it's warm by the time you get back to your seat. That's so aggravating.
The one thing at the Marlins games, mostly you and I sit at the Budweiser bar, so that's never an issue.
Yeah, it's right there.
We're right there.
Woo.
We're right there. My daughter was asking me, she goes, "Well, where do you sit normally when you go there?" I gotta be honest with you. We just stand there. I would say 80% of the games I've been to at Marlins Park, I've just stood at the Budweiser terrace.
Because that way we can peruse.
It's my favorite thing about the stadium. I mean, like, and I think people are like, "Hey, you've been to a ballpark? That's how it's supposed to be." But you guys don't realize for years, if you watch Marlins games here, like you were concreted off. So to be able to see the game as the game goes on is really cool. Like I went to the bathroom at one point, got up. I was like, "I didn't miss a pitch. I got to see the entire game. It was great."
What?
That is cool.
Hold on.
Except for the bathroom, of course. But like I'm saying, from the walk back and forth, you can see it. It's like the whole action's right there.
I got to wait. So we need some clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Because my man just said, "I went to use the bathroom and didn't miss a pitch." You went in between innings or in between?
No, I'm saying like I went at one point. My son wanted some ice cream and I was going to go to the bathroom. So like I get up and you know what happened? I know exactly what happened. It wasn't to get ice cream. I was saying hi to Stunt and Steve, and then I was like, you know what? I'm up. I kind of need to go to the bathroom because I've already had some drinks. So I'm gonna go, and I just like you keep moving because I was saying hello, and the pitches were like you could just see the entire game. I love that about that stadium.
Right. I know, like I think we got tickets one time and I went to the seats and I'm like, going back.
David says, I'm just going to say it. Baseball is a trash sport. You know what, David? I don't like your attitude nor your tone. All right, dude? I don't like your attitude nor your tone because last night you missed what Janson Junk did for the fish. You really missed out, okay? Because he's been fantastic and the Marlins got a lot of guys with great mustaches, okay? Lake Bacher yesterday, 2 2/3 shutout innings. Now, nearly blew it. Needed Bender to get the last batter out. But I'm not going to sit here and allow you to besmirch the great national pastime. No, it's going to be the football. Oh, no! Wow. Train today?
No, there was a lot of officials blocking off highways.
Police activity.
Yeah, there's a lot of police activity.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll take a break. The headlines on that Marlins recap brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia. Choose over 500 new Kia miles in inventory at the Sport Sorrento and tell your ride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. Heat back in Summer League action tonight. We got more to get to, including a heartfelt goodbye. We'll take a break back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Hey, you're looking for something great to do this summer with your kids. Your kids like hoops. They want to learn from the best, like the great Tony Fiorentino. Sign them up for Junior Heat Camp going on now through the summer. You guys can go check it out online at the Miami Heat's website, but they do a great job. I believe Davion Mitchell is visiting camp today. Freshly re-signed Davion Mitchell is visiting Heat camp today, and that dude loves some hoops, carrying the basketball all around. And also this summer, if you guys want a great way to get the behind-the-scenes tour going on at the Kaseya Center, go sign up for one of their all-access tours. We went on that last fall. We did that. Man, that was a good time. And you get the ins and outs of the locker room, and you get to see secret crevices of the Kaseya Center, the practice court. You get to see the headquarters of media, all that stuff. So check that on out as well for Miami Heat all-access tours going on this summer as well. So looking forward to that. The Heat, they're back in Summer League action tonight against the Golden State Warriors at 7 o'clock. And, of course, the big celebration is because the Miami Heat got in on the action yesterday and made themselves a little trade ski, which officially put them in a big place because they acquired none other than the great Norman Powell.
Point for Tobin.
You know, in my head, I was thinking, did they get anybody else? Because why is he bringing this up like it's new news? Why did I not?
Just a refresher. Did you just in case you didn't know? No, just Marcos. I think it sounds like
you made the announcement.
No, it sounds.
You did it again, so you can play the song.
No,
That's it.
No, it sounds. You guys want to hear it again?
Powell! Okay. It's the details, guys. You gotta pay attention to the details, you know, because it's not just I have the power, right? It's
yeah. We got it. Yeah.
Because the names are almost the same, right?
And then it's the effect too. It's the delay.
Can
They have a name for that.
Stop.
What?
Stop.
Maybe we need to hear it again.
Yeah.
Powell! Was that you? Hey, yeah? Wow, that was good.
Yeah, that was me too.
So you gonna be the lyrical Jesse James now?
I've got the Powell. That's it, dude.
Hey, that's it. Game on. Hey, guys. Hey, Lorenzo, that's free for you guys this year if you want.
You're
welcome.
You're welcome. Free sample. Just could you imagine? Like he hits a 3, and we got Mike Biamonte. He goes, Norman.
Powell.
The whole crowd will be.
Oh wait! You can't get rid of
it. Al Mackey says it's the best.
What's that?
This is why we can't have nice things.
What do you mean? You don't think that can stick? You know, like we got ourselves a 3-ball from Norman Powell. You know, sometimes when Mario Chalmers would score, they'd play the Mario 1-up. Yeah. You know, like that's game ops.
Even if you just play he scores a 3 and Powell to the left, he's got Grady Dick in his face because Jax loves when Grady Dick plays against us for some reason, and then Powell drains the 3. Just a little, no.
Yeah, but don't cut off the song again. You got to play it all the way through because it is art. It is art.
Basketball is a fast-moving game, right?
So fast. Powell.
Can't leave you.
I don't know how to do that.
You guys need adult supervision at all times.
What's the problem? Like you're telling me you wouldn't love that with Mike B. Monster? Norman Powell 3. Powell.
You know what the problem is, though?
What's that?
What happens when he puts up 40? And the whole we're just like,
Sounds like Snap's gonna get a lot of royalties.
it's just all night just play. I look so far. That's we've given them a lot, but it's maybe your best work. Other than the Victor Wembanyama Britney Spears suggestion, that was good too.
It's game ops, dude. I'm just saying it's right here for you. If you guys want it, it's right there for you guys, Miami Heat. It's right there. D Wade yesterday signed off on it.
Did he?
Did he?
Mm-hmm. Went on Instagram.
Signed off
On your
it, though.
Instagram.
Just
You
think
posted
it's like
on Instagram?
not on my Instagram. No, he went on the Heat's Instagram and he put that's my guy. And then like I was like, oh, that's his guy.
There's nobody that
No,
dislikes.
no. You don't just put that for
nobody
anybody.
that dislikes
No,
D-Wade.
you don't just put that there. You don't just put that there. He wouldn't just say that out of nowhere. So I don't like you saying like D-Wade's just being polite.
Hey, when was the last time the Heat traded for somebody that was less than 30?
What now? We're doing other caveats. We're going.
No. I'm just saying, like
Davion Mitchell, technically.
I mean,
They did.
you know what I mean.
Buxton.
No, like
Oh, too.
you know what I mean.
I mean, he named one. Yeah.
You've been
Really. How about on the same level as Norman Powell?
You know what they say, dude?
What do they say?
31's the new 25.
31 specifically is what they said that about.
What about 32?
Yeah,
That's the new 26.
Oh yes. We're good. Totally good.
Yep. It kind of sounds like for 3 brick. Man, he couldn't handle it when Khalil Ware was giving him the business.
Yeah.
I would like Khalil Ware to treat Quentin Post tonight like he's Wembanyama. Like, let's go, Khalil. I need more than 3 rebounds if he plays.
I mean, I don't understand. I think he's on the perimeter too much if he can only get 3 rebounds. I mean, you should be able to, as a big, you should be able to get at least 10 simply because
in
you
summer
catching
league,
all of their.
does Hard Rock give summer league player props, or is that a ridiculous question?
No, dude. No, that's called. You got to go to the back page where the degenerates gamble.
I've seen people bet on ping pong at 3 a.m. though, so they should have summer league
Preseason.
Well, I gotta come up. We gotta come up with a bet of the night. So I just want to make sure. Like, can I put player props in there, or can I only parlay the Heat win? Can I bet on summer league on the Hard Rock app?
No.
I'm gonna find out.
Should be allowed to. Should be allowed.
Why?
Action, baby. Oh, yes, I can.
Ooh.
Ooh. Heat are 1.5 point favorites tonight.
This is like you might as well bet red black.
Why?
Same thing. You have absolutely no idea who's better in these summer league games.
Oh no, the Heat are better for sure.
I mean, I might wait until the starting lineup comes out. But Pella Larson.
You think they announced the starting lineup like
Oh,
they do a regular game?
Oh, they absolutely do. Half hour before they tweet it out. That's why I got the Heat on notice.
So you can gamble?
Now, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
What?
The Degenerate and Wu-Tang.
I don't understand what the problem is. I'm just sitting here trying to, get a little action. I might want to parlay a Heat fish win tonight,
Yeah.
They're still in Cincinnati?
They are still in Cincinnati.
Was the game last night the one that got delayed?
It did get delayed by about an hour. But it flew. It still was over by the time Love Island was over.
Oh, thank God. You're 1-0 on these bets, aren't you? Last
week, yep, I hit it. I hit the old home run parlay. We had Jazz Chisholm and Cal Raleigh home run parlay.
We're streaking.
And then we got to throw a Marlins, because that ballpark is a little league park. I mean, some fish is
tiny.
going deep tonight. The ball flies out of there, dude. It's one of the most notorious hitting parks in all of baseball.
Really?
Great American ballpark. I mean, yeah, the ball flies out of there.
I'm trying to think. Did Cincinnati play in the football stadium too? I know Pittsburgh did. Sucked.
I think they did used to play in a football stadium. Yes.
Can I just tell you? So when they have artificial turf, basically what they do is they level off the mound, which is not hard because there's a fake bump that they put dirt over, right? And then they take and put a turf and zip it around. And they do that for the infield too. But it's never smooth. So sometimes you'll be running and it'll be like running up that hill. You'll just hit a, uneven spot, or you'll trip over a zipper.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Well, and Cleveland wasn't no better, because they leave the dirt there, right? And then they would put water on it to pack it down. Then they put the lines on it. But after pregame, there were no lines. So you had no idea where you were on the field. You had to just kind of, from playing there a lot, know where you were.
Sounds like what they could have used.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Like they could have.
Nope.
What?
Because here's what happens. You're smiling. The other two knuckleheads are smiling, which means I'm the only one that don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm keeping my mouth shut.
You've been here long enough to know that was a setup.
Not biting. Nope.
What?
I ate a hot dog for breakfast.
What?
Yeah. I wanted something quick. I looked in the refrigerator. Boom, hot dog from 4th of July. I ate it.
What are you, a pelican?
No, I'm hungry.
At
Went to
7
bed early. It's all right. I'm good. Still not. Nope. Listen, it's gonna take more than a plastic worm to catch this big mouth bass.
What do you mean? We're not trying any tricks, baby.
Oh, you're always trying tricks.
We're not
Stop.
trying tricks,
Stop.
baby.
What are
We're
you
just
kidding
excited
me?
about the Heat trade. That's all.
You know what? I always keep my head on a swivel, especially with you.
You know who else is gonna have to have their head on a swivel?
Nope.
Oh,
Defenses.
You know why?
why?
So you couldn't get in the front door,
Mhm.
so you went through the restaurant.
If you can't get the first submission, you go for another. Take a break. Back with more to this.
We are talking.
All right, our bet's placed for tonight.
Ooh.
I got my bet in for tonight.
All right.
It's time to get spicy. Let's get
What we
spicy.
got?
But you
All
didn't
right.
consult anybody.
Hey, you better not say summer league.
Why not? Just a parlay, baby.
Spicy.
Be careful though.
Spicy.
Why is it spicy?
All right, we get spicy. It's sponsored by Hard Rock Bet. Rock Bet is legal in Florida and the place to bet on your teams today and every day. Hard Rock Bet has your props, parlays, and live play-by-play betting, and the no-regret first bet up to $100. Oh, maybe I should have gotten that. Well, I've bet a lot more than one time. But, hey, if you haven't, try the Hard Rock Bet app. And if your first bet doesn't win, you get your money back to try again. Hard Rock Bet is offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. You must be 21 and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Don't look at me like that just because I bet on Summer League.
Spicy.
Here's what I'm going with tonight.
That dude betting on summer league is like betting on two ants crossing the street.
Here's what I'm betting on tonight. Okay. Here's what I'm betting on tonight. All right. I'm going to go for tonight. Little parlay action. I'm going to bet on the fish. A couple player props tonight. All right. I told you that building is like a little league park. So Agustín Ramírez, I'm saying he's going deep again. He's been crushing the Reds this season. And when he's hot, he's hot. All right. This kid, he feels like he's back into it. So I'm going to bet on him. I get plus 300 on his home run prop. Then I'm going to add onto it a Heat Summer League win, which is minus 140, which gets us to about plus 500, which is nice. So when I decided to add a little bit, Leroy,
Yeah.
sweetener,
Gotta do it.
Yuri Perez is on the hill tonight, the baby goat, and starting to round into form a little bit this last start, Leroy. And the Reds, they're stinking up the joint.
Wow.
Reds are
Wow.
They are struggling.
Smelly.
Ooh,
So why not add a little Yuri Perez prop of 7 strikeouts or more? Struck out 7 in his last game. I think he can do it again. So we're going to go the Gus Bus, home run.
Yeah.
We're going to go Yuri Perez, over 6.5 strikeouts, and a Miami Heat Summer League victory for a cool plus 19.
Oh,
It's spicy.
come on.
That's good action.
That's good action. That's good
Come on,
value.
good action. That's good
Summer
value.
league stuff.
The chat likes it. It is approved.
That's value. That's value right there.
What's the problem? You don't like it? Is it just because we're betting on Summer League?
Yeah.
No way, though.
Why?
It's a solid bet. He didn't even do anything,
baby.
There was no props or anything.
We just need our 2 young guns to show up tonight for the fish, and we need a Heat win.
Yeah.
It's a bet on the youth of South Florida sports, the Summer League,
The youth.
and the baby fish.
This is good.
He's just okay. So if I would have taken out the Summer League bet, would you have liked it better?
Yes.
So you want to do it with a Marlins win?
I'd rather Marlins win. They're playing real games.
Okay, great. Well, basically that's like a Marlins win because if Gus Bus goes deep and we get 7 strikeouts from your Perez, that's basically a Marlins win. And I just got to add a little Heat victory tonight, baby.
Oh, man. What happens if we also add a Marlins win, though?
You
pretty much just said they're going to win. You said
interesting. All right. So, I mean, what's the harm? I mean, I'm sure we could look. You know, what's the big
look?
What's the problem with looking? You know, right?
You know, if he gets 7 strikeouts, a home run there, they're probably going to win. You said it. I'm just saying.
Players. All right. So we go Ramirez home run. We go Yuri Perez on strikeouts plus 7.
I don't know if you know this. Yuri's rounding into form. I heard that recently.
He is rounding into form.
Who told you?
Can't even remember.
All All right, and Heat Summer League. Okay, all right. Well,
Nope.
that doesn't make sense.
Marcos, you've never gone to a game with us anyway.
Me? We went to. I showed up after you guys broadcasted from there opening day, and we stood in the. Yeah, it was me, you, Robbie.
That's when we all found
The
the
secret
secret. Mhm.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, has like a bowl place next to it, an ice cream place next to it. It's no longer a secret. But you know.
Is there an ice cream place there?
Yeah, I'm telling you, they were for the Flanagan's game. They were decorating the Flanagan's.
I'm not gonna lie. There's no ice cream. There's two places: Jack's or Cold Stone.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you how you know you got good ice cream. If you get your pint and you eat some of it and put it in the freezer, when you take it out for that couple of days later to get some more of it, if it's hard as a rock, that's crappy ice cream. If it's still nice and smooth, you can run your fork through it.
Yeah.
Then it's very good ice cream.
Good call.
So I don't want to call them out, but I went to this one place,
Ooh.
Volva's.
Okay. When you say you don't want to call them out, and
But you just directly call them out.
Yeah.
I didn't say their name.
Okay.
Right. Sounds like.
All right.
By the way, adding a Marlins win doesn't add any juice to it, Marcos.
Yeah,
Not
it makes no sense. Right.
It doesn't even worth it.
So
that's fair.
So I go and get the ice cream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eat a little bit of it, put it in the thing. Then I need one of those rock breakers to get back in it the next time I go in.
Mm-hmm.
Get that ice cream. Sorry.
But Marcos.
Oh, you found some more value.
You're not gonna put that. You can tell. I already know it's shady. You know why?
Why?
Was batting his eyes?
No, because Marco. If he would have said, "What if I do this?" Because he asked me a question a second ago.
Well, you're not a fun gambling partner.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
To him, I was like,
You're deterring me from gambling on Summer League. I don't like it.
Because betting on Summer League is the first sign of degeneracy.
No way.
But
first sign is putting Julian Hill as anytime.
Accurate. Accurate.
If we go,
so
Augustine
you had stage 2.
Yeah.
Betting on just anything.
All right,
we got Gus Bus home run.
Yeah.
Yuri Perez 7 strikeouts.
All right.
Heat Summer League win.
Yeah,
and the hottest team in baseball right now is the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh,
they had I saw young Bichette hit a little fister out to win the game.
They've taken a death grip on the AL East.
All right.
Now, while they are an overwhelming favorite tonight at -190 against the crappy White Sox, if we threw that into our parlay, our plus 1,900 goes to a plus 3,000.
Whoa! For them to just win?
Just win, baby!
Team in baseball?
Wait, for Toronto just win?
Just win. We just need Toronto to beat the White Sox.
I mean, who's ever pitching must really suck. Because that's the only thing that'll explain that.
All we need is Toronto.
Who's pitching for
Toronto?
Toronto?
But we already have. We got a 4-leg parlay. That's why.
Wait, no, that's not why. Who's pitching for Toronto?
What does it matter? They're already overwhelming favorites, even with whoever's pitching. They're minus 190.
And that bumps it all the way up to 3,000?
Plus 3,000.
All right.
Oh, look who all of a sudden is perked up at his chair. Whoa. Now all of a sudden Summer League's not so stupid, eh?
No, it's not stupid. I'm saying adding a favorite in baseball to move up to 3,000. That's a good move. But still, you got
the old Basset Hound.
Summer League. You got 30 guys they trying to play.
It is the last game of the California Classic.
Oh.
Well, if you wanted to do it Leroy's way and you just want to do Agustín Ramírez home run, Yuri Perez 7 strikeouts, and the Blue Jays to win, that's plus 1,700, which is not plus 3,000, but still pretty good juice.
I mean, go ahead, bet. Go ahead.
No, you do. I mean, you do what you want. We'll decide it later on in the show. We'll come to a resolution. Hey, Hard Rock, don't change the odds. I know you listen. Don't be sneaky. Okay. Don't be sneaky because I'm going to give you double the segments. Okay. So don't be here and be like all of a sudden, oh, never mind. The Blue Jays are minus 400. Don't be cowards. You keep my odds where they are. Give us until the 1 o'clock hour to decide, and then we'll come to a resolution. Okay?
Yeah. But if those odds move, totally your fault, Leroy.
Just lock it in.
Whoa! Look at that!
Wow.
Look at that!
Why wait?
Because I want Leroy on board, and I don't feel like he's on board to adding the summer league win.
To be on board, whether it's now or at 1 o'clock, he's not going to be on board.
He's a.
Just look
I
at
know,
his
but
face.
maybe he'll get another. Maybe he'll get another snack. JFig. He'll be less hungry.
Oh, that's true.
Another hot dog.
Another hot dog.
No. That was
one and done.
I looked up. I didn't have time for nothing else, so I said, let's eat a little hot dog here with chili.
Oof.
What?
Wow. Good thing you're home for today.
No, it don't mess my stomach up like that. Chili. It was from proper sausage.
All right. What are you, a billy goat?
It's spicy.
It's spicy.
It's spicy.
We'll take a break. Hour Tua. More dirt getting thrown on the Finns' name. That's next.
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Valoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you on a Tuesday. Streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, the channel Miami 560 WQAM, and on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Take you guys up until 2. The headlines brought to you by Doral Kia. Choose from over 500 new Kia models in inventory at the Sports, Sorrento, and Telluride. And remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. Marlins, they handled the Cincinnati Reds last night 5-1. Agustín Ramírez, he had himself a home run, his 14th of the season. Janson Junk went 6 innings, gave up a run on 1 hit, struck out 3. And the Fish closed that puppy out. Anthony Bender got the save. He just needed to strike out 1 batter. The Heat.
Junk, huh? That's the name?
That's his name.
Game ops. You can thank me later. When he plays, we need junk food options, and he needs to come up with his own pitch, and call it the junk ball. So that is all. Thank you, Marlins.
Junk ball is just a run-of-the-mill, like, crappy breaking ball. Like that's what the junk ball is.
Oh, it already exists?
Well, and there's junk ball pitchers who can't throw over 90.
Yeah, junk ball pitchers like Levon Hernandez for the last 10 years of his career.
Who's the pitcher for New York? Pavano? He didn't throw. No, it was Atlanta. Who's the third pitcher? Never got above 90.
I feel like calling Greg Maddux a junk baller.
Not Maddox. Who's the other 2 pitchers there at that time? Glavine.
Glavin's too good to be a junk baller. A junk baller. There's something to a junk baller needs to be somebody who's just not of qualification as well. Like when you get to Cy Youngs and Hall, you're too good. I can't have those guys be qualified. Like when the Marlins had on their World Series staff, Mark Redmond, not the catcher Mike Redmond, but Mark Redmond, slow, crafty left. He was a junk baller.
Junk baller.
Right. Yeah. Mixing it up, throwing a lot of stuff. That's a junk baller.
Sometimes when a guy is just wetting the plywood too much, you got to throw a couple junk balls in there because, you got to switch it up.
Jamie Moyer, great call by Dade South. Jamie Moyer, who, owned the Marlins, threw like 47 miles per hour.
Yeah. Well, that's because he was 80.
He was 80 for 20 years in the big leagues.
He pitched so long.
Jamie Moyer was a junk baller.
Jamie, when he threw the fastball, it clocked out at like 82.
R.A. Dickey. He's a knuckleballer. Knuckleballer's a little different.
Oh, that's different.
Little different. Rich Hill, great call, T-Stacks.
Well, who was the knuckleballer for Boston? Wakefield.
Tim Wakefield. Yeah, but that's a knuckleballer. I don't think a knuckleballer qualifies as a junk baller.
But some of them threw. I think some of them threw it fast. Like was it Wakefield who threw it around 80? So that's what gave him.
Really?
Hey, how about this, Marcos? They had their own special catcher.
For the knuckleball?
For the knuckleball, yes. Special glove.
But then you'd know he's throwing the knuckleball. But you still
that's all he threw.
Change
up when he changed it up, he threw a 84-mile-an-hour fastball.
You always knew what a knuckleballer you were going to get the knuckleball, Marcos. Like the only way. In fact, a knuckleball was so weird that Luis Castillo would even hit right-handed against right-handed knuckleballers.
Oh,
just because he felt like he had the better patience.
Nothing's better than a screwball, though. Those two.
It's a dead pitch. Nobody throws the screwball anymore. Too much torque on the arm.
But the ice cream, though, pretty good. 2 little gumballs at the end.
Are you talking about the treat out of an ice cream?
I thought he was talking about the alcohol one too.
Okay.
Wait.
Got a lot of problems on this show, apparently. What is a screwball, though? What is that? Does that dip or something? What's the one?
Screwball was like an inverted, so you'd like invert your arm. So it's kind of like a curveball that would like go in reverse, or like a slider that would go in reverse.
It's a way for a right-hander to throw basically a curveball into a right-hander.
Yeah, but your arm would get really like jacked up from it. So I don't think it's really a pitch anybody throws anymore.
No one throws a good screwball anymore, right?
Well, some pitchers naturally have movement. That's why there's a lot of guys who throw 100 miles an hour that get knocked all over the place because the ball goes straight.
The only other one I know is a ghost pitch. Is that the new? Is there a guy who does a ghost pitch or something?
Yeah, Sen guy on the he throws the ghost fork.
The ghost fork. Come on, we need more pitches. Like let's just start marketing the pitches. Who cares if it's a fastball? Let's call it something else. Like, he's got a fireball.
They call it a heater. They that's what they call it. They, throw some cheese. That's the fastball has probably more slang terms than anything in baseball.
Let me get
the old number one.
You ever throw a poltergeist ball? That was crazy. That was sick.
I like that one.
That's crazy.
You guys familiar with Asante Samuel?
Yep.
Very accomplished cornerback. Has a son in the NFL who played with the Chargers.
Like his daddy.
And some rumors surrounding Asante Samuel Jr. may be one of the Dolphins' pickups as a vet corner because the Dolphins really, the Dolphins need some help in that secondary. They still need somebody. And but his dad has a podcast, and I guess wasn't a fan of the Jalen Ramsey trade or just where things are headed with the Miami Dolphins. So this was Asante Samuel on his podcast on the Miami Dolphins. Took a blowtorch to Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer.
Dolphins had no reason to trade Jalen Ramsey other than they're sensitive. There's no leadership in the Dolphins organization. Mike McDaniels is a pushover. Chris Greer, the general manager, he has no backbone. These guys over here at the Miami Dolphins, they are running this team like a little league team. No one can stand up to the players. They're terrified of their own players, and they have no control over their players.
Wow. All right. There you go.
So here's the deal. That's how you tell a story when you're looking at everything from the outside, right? There's a couple of truths to that, but I don't agree with most of it.
Which ones do you agree with?
That they approach the players like they're scared to hold them accountable at times. Right? Like, we already know what's going on. We can see it, see what's going on. When Tyreek refused to go back in the game, we saw it. For the Dolphins to not comment on it in any way whatsoever shows that they were scared to hurt Tyreek's feelings. And I think that there's certain things you do in life in a team sport that you need to be called out, not only so that person knows, but so you set the tone for the rest of the team. And the fact that nothing was said or done by the organization other than he probably want to have that decision back would ideally have people thinking they could do whatever.
I think the thing that I found most confusing about the Miami Dolphins offseason is that you did have Tyreek Hill essentially quit on the team at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's very good. And so guys who are good, they get more passes, even though that's pretty rough.
Right.
But it's pretty crazy to me that the Dolphins did seem like they moved very fast to mend fences And whatever happened with Jalen Ramsey was just such a cardinal sin that it couldn't be fixed.
Right.
And I just find that very confusing that we're at a point where you had a guy walk out on his teammates, say that he wants out, emotional or not, he still did it. And Jalen Ramsey, that something happened behind the scenes that was more than being late, because apparently everybody was being late. That it couldn't be dealt with for another year by the coach. I just find that strange. Seems like so like what's the standard? I don't know what it is.
Maybe that's what Jalen Ramsey had a problem with.
Maybe.
Like he could say, like, look, we can be boys and we can be friends or whatever. But when you see actions taking place in a locker room or on a field that are not acceptable and not conducive to having a good team, something needs to be said. And if Jalen Ramsey was upset that nothing was said and we just went on like nothing happened, then maybe he wasn't satisfied with the direction of the team. I don't know. Right? So I would say he's right from that standpoint. But I would also say this. A lot of what you hear out of Dolphins camp is a direct result of losing. Right? Because it's funny when they started the season, 8-1 or 8-2 a couple of years ago, the same people doing the same crap. Everybody was kumbaya.
Well, that's the interesting thing, right? Like Mike McDaniel got the job for one reason, and that was to fix that quarterback, and had to do it because he had a personality that was more conducive to success for the quarterback, because he didn't like the way the former coach did it.
Right.
Like it didn't drive success for Tua. He needed somebody to put his arm around it. And whatever. Yes, it is a team sport, but the most important thing at that point was, since they weren't going,
he made a big investment into it. He needs to be fixed.
So he did a good job of that, but I guess it doesn't work for everybody. But the thing that just, I think is hilarious is that everybody comes out and they they said all the stuff last year about accountability and they're going to be bullies and they're going to do all this. So all the players said the same thing. And then, Bradley Chubb saying we were lying. It's like, well, maybe you just lost. Maybe you weren't good enough.
And that's the other thing, right? And the hardest part, and I'm gonna say this, and people, you really need to understand this. There's two game plans, right? There's the game plan that an offensive guru can design to beat whatever the other team's doing. There's that game plan, right? That's the game plan you set the week before. Then you get to practice and preparation, and then there's the real game plan when you realize that your guys can't do that stuff.
Yeah, like is Mike McDaniel
plan? You gotta, and so I think Mike got into a situation where he was coaching everything that could go wrong. When his first year or so, he was coaching being the aggressor. Like the other team's going to have to adjust to us.
Right.
Then the next year, like last year, he coached as if though the offensive line couldn't block straight ahead. We're always going to get pressure up the middle, right? The offensive line's not going to protect us long enough to throw down the field. So we're going to throw a lot more short and intermediate passes, get the ball out of Tua's hand because we don't want him hit, right? And you could see that sometimes coaches outcoach themselves. At some point, you got to have confidence in what you're doing, and you're going to tweak it a little bit depending on what the defense does, but your sole goal is to find something that they can't defend. And you just go about it. Like when I was in Minnesota, it didn't matter what we ran. Randy was open. He was open.
He was good.
Wasn't open. It was saying 3rd and 15. Give him a chance. That was what we say. Give him a chance. He's 6'4", runs faster than anybody on the field, and can jump and adjust to the ball. Ain't no defender on this planet running sideways or backwards, backpedaling, can do that like Randy can. At some point, you have to go into a game with the attitude of, I don't give a damn what you do. I'm going to be better.
You think like his bigger issue though as a coach, is it running the team or is it calling the game?
I would say this, and I don't blame him, because the worst thing you could do as a coach, and you've heard coaches say this, and it pissed everybody off. Remember the coaches that would say, I've been doing this for 30 years. I know it works.
Yeah.
Well, that don't mean your guys could do it that you got now. You got to adjust it.
Is that a Mark Richt thing? I feel like that was a Mark Richt thing.
Yes, that's who it was. I really didn't say his name because I wasn't sure. And I'm like, but Mark, you ain't got Georgia talent here. So
that one year they were pretty
right.
good.
So you have to come up with a plan that enables you to do what you want to do offensively, and combine that with the talent and what the talent can do. And sometimes coaches get too defensive, call it overcoaching. And so when that happens, your team looks exactly like what it looked like last year. Right? Like a whole bunch of nothing. So I think if I'm Mike McDaniel, when the first game starts, I come in, put my cojones on the table, and say, let's go. Because that's what you did when you got here.
You got to fight somebody?
Dared every defense to stop me.
What's a worse insult? Is it being a pushover or having no backbone?
Ooh.
I would say having no backbone.
I feel like having no backbone's a worse.
Because that means that you yellow-bellied, you know, like you ain't like that people going to just storm on you. Being soft or being
pushover.
Being a pushover is that there are infractions happening in front of you, and you don't want to pull the trigger on any reprimands or anything like that.
Both
so people continue to do it.
Like a jellyfish.
No. A jellyfish is like a yellow belly. That's like no backbone. Yeah. So
just
there's different things. But I think Mike's problem was he overcoached. Right? Like, dude, and I'm going to keep saying this to you, right? When it's 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, everybody knows where you're running. It ain't a trick play. It's lining up and going get some and getting a yard. That's what it is. That's why when I say I have a problem with teams who can't do it because they try to trick the defense or whatever, that's the sign of no backbone. That's the true sign. When you try to avoid the collision, avoid the confrontation by running a sweep or a quick pass or something like that, it's 3rd and 1. If you can't get a yard, you don't need to be on that field.
Take a break here on the show. You guys can get us on YouTube and Twitch, Miami56WQM, and on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Take a break. Oh, there was one blatant disrespect, I feel like, towards the Miami Dolphins that has nothing to do with culture. That's next. Oh man, it's bad bitch o'clock.
Man, did you see dropped an album recently or mixtape or something like that?
You know, I didn't. I saw that you sent that to us, and I didn't play it. What happened?
She's rapping. She's doing some rapping. She's
Oh,
singing crazy things. I like it though.
Well, the crazy thing she was saying was mainly her. She was talking about her brand,
Her Fabletics brand.
Yeah.
She's advertising her clothing, which I
basically.
didn't know.
She's giving some promo.
The way
you know?
that she's marketing it was a shocker to me coming from Lizzo, but I think it's great music. And hey, man, she's coming for the summer, dude. Because old Cardi B, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, also coming for the summer, deleting pictures of Stephon Diggs off of her.
her and Stephon Diggs didn't work out.
Can you believe that?
I for one am stunned that
you
I actually
believe
didn't
that.
think that
Mr.
was a real
Payne. I am stunned that did not work. I thought those kids were gonna make it.
Yeah, you know, it starts off with a pink substance on a boat, and now look at us. We're deleting pictures off Instagram. So, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the Patriots wide receiver. I was almost going to say Buffalo Bills wide receiver.
Oh yeah, he is on the Patriots this year, right?
So strange.
Stupid Drake May.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel, shoulders.
Mm.
Sick of him. Does it bother you that we have the coach in the division that would definitely lose a fight to all these guys?
Potentially,
I feel like Aaron Glenn and Mike Vrabel would DDT him through a table.
Yeah. I'm not sure the last fight, if I even go back, because who was the coach in New York prior to that? He was pretty Saleh. He was pretty big too.
He was beefy. Yeah, that's true. So maybe it means nothing.
I don't know. I don't know. You know, we'll see. Maybe we'll outsmart them.
Perhaps. I mean, like, look, he does have that Socrates brain of his. But can I tell you something that kind of annoyed me? You know, like, I don't expect the Dolphins to get a lot of preseason respect on these lists, okay? But I saw today they drop, you know, they're doing this series, this top 10 series in the on ESPN. And we talked yesterday about Devon Achane. Like, hey, isn't Devon Achane? Maybe he probably should be a top 10 running back with where he's at, with some of the old names that are up there. But I saw today they did defensive tackles, and these rat bastards at the worldwide leader had the audacity, and may I say the audacity, to keep our beloved Zach Sieler it on up. He's not in the top 10 of defensive tackles when he is the only defensive tackle over the last 2 years, double-digit sacks each season.
Who did they pick ahead of him?
They got Cam Hayward from the Steelers. What is he, 100 years old?
Yeah, he's just there because of his game.
He's 100 years old.
He's so old. I played at the same time his dad played. And guess what his dad's nickname was? Ironhead.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
36 years old, this guy.
Vita Vea, who's scary. I mean, I will never say anything to
Vita Vea.
Very scary.
I dare you.
Very scary.
That's pretty good.
Very scary.
Pretty good.
But he was 9th. All right. DeForest Buckner from the Colts, number 8.
Also pretty good.
Nnamdi Madubuike from the Baltimore Ravens.
What?
He's a beast. No,
He is a beast. Look, I'm not saying he's not a beast, but you want to know what none of them have?
I would. There's a couple of guys already, but go ahead, keep going.
Leonard Williams from the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, beast.
He was the only guy on this list who had more sacks than Zach Sieler, but didn't do it back-to-back years, you bastards!
Yeah.
Back-to-back years! Quinnen Williams from the Jets, number 5.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why? Yeah, for that one.
Jeffrey Simmons from the Tennessee Titans. Jalen Carter from the Eagles.
Yo, he's a beast.
Chris Jones.
Roy.
Chris Jones on number 2.
Chris Jones, number 2. Number 1,
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence from the Giants.
Their team was great.
Look, it's a good list. It's a good list.
Here's what I would say.
It's not full of
I would
bums.
say Zach Sieler should be in the 7 to 10 around there.
Agreed.
And one of those guys should be out of it.
He's a game wrecker, dude. He's not just like, I feel like they're treating him like, oh, he's Zach Sieler, he's tough.
Well, I'm going to tell you why. If you think about all those other teams, think about the style of football they play. All play on very physical defenses. And then when you think of the Dolphins, everybody says not physical. So that means everybody on the team gets caught up in that.
Honorable
you see what I'm saying? So that's why they don't give him the credit he deserves.
Honorable mention, Christian Wilkins. Even though he didn't play last year. He missed 12 games. Makes no sense.
Right.
The guy said, the person they quoted here says, I know he's hurt, but I love this guy. Absolutely a top interior player when healthy.
Yeah.
He is. Very good.
He is. Nobody.
Derek Brown from the Panthers, Zach Allen from the Broncos, and then Zach Sieler. Their NFL coordinator with the anonymous quote says, he's probably getting more credit for this season because Christian Wilkins wasn't there. He's worked himself into an all-pro caliber player, even though he didn't make the Pro Bowl. Tough, smart, dependable, ultimate team guy. And you also forgot Monster Cowboy.
The thing that I would say about that is that it's something to be said about the last line in that, right? Because I played with John Randall, and I can't remember him missing a game.
Oof.
And playing at that level of intensity, on a weekly basis, and he did it in practice too. So when you have a guy like that on your team, right, everybody seems to follow that lead, and you got to promote it even more.
What did he miss last year? Because what did he miss? 1 or 2 games from the orbital fracture.
Two games?
I think he missed 2 games for the orbital fracture, which we know did that. Even though everybody denies it. I know whose fingers got in that face.
Friendly fire.
How do you friendly fire somebody in practice? What are you doing? Face masking them.
The coaches coach harder in practice than they do in the games.
Well,
so you get
here.
So sometimes you get a little pissed off and you go too much.
I mean, Captain Insano on Zach Sieler.
He's going for the old eye poke like that, like charging up for it.
Never saw it coming. I tell you what, eye pokes are nasty, dude. When I was at the last Dirty Boxing card we were calling, there was this guy lost his mind because he got eye poked once and then he got eye poked again.
Oh,
and I was like, and he was like, you could see like the thumb going in there. I was like, oh. Although Mike Perry thought that the guy was looking for a way out. He thinks he faked the eye poke. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I think I saw that eye go in there.
Can I just tell you, that is the worst. To get poked in the eye.
Oof. Did you ever wear a visor?
Yeah. I had a problem with, believe it or not, I had a problem with the glare from the lights. You see what you know what I mean?
It was too much for you?
The glare of the lights made it hard to see, almost like the sun. So I even do it now. Like when I drive, I wear glasses at night.
I just got distracted by Karen, who says Tobin is Velveeta Vea.
Pretty good.
Point for Twitcher.
Thanks.
So yeah, so I wore one with a tint, but here's the problem. They claim that their visors are fog free, so it won't fog up.
Untrue.
Dude, I was doing windshield wiper on those things the whole game.
Jeez. Was it better indoor games or outdoor? Like that was only an outdoor game problem?
Yeah. Indoor it wasn't as bad, so I didn't. If I wore one, and let me tell you, all you have to do is get poked in the eye one time, you're wearing a visor for life.
Who had the coolest visor look, Marcos? Would you go Sean Taylor? Would you go LT, LaDainian Tomlinson?
This is a great question that I would say I spent a lot of my childhood editing Madden players to mimic these things. So I actually have the answers for you.
Hmm?
Sean Taylor is number one with the orange for sure. But the orange, the University of Miami orange one with the orange jersey.
No one's allowed to wear orange anymore, right? I don't feel like people are allowed to wear that.
No.
Can't do that no more. Can't do that.
God, that was cool.
Clearly, let's not come on. Not even an option there. But if we had to go a close number 2, we have the Brian Dawkins super dark helmet that he wore with the Eagles. That one was intimidating. Ricky Williams had
Ricky Williams. Yeah, somebody said Ricky Williams with the mirror visor and orange jersey. You uncultured swine.
Okay, hold on.
Very strong, El Maco. Jesus.
I would also say that Gilbert Brown, the dude was so big I didn't realize he was wearing a visor. Let me just put that out there. He once tackled me with a pinky.
Is it necessary for him to wear a visor already being that intimidating looking?
He had the bodybuilders that have the big trap muscles.
Yeah.
Except he was like 350.
And then he also wore a neck roll on top of it.
Yeah.
Like, did you need a neck roll with the traps that you have, sir? I think your neck's fine.
The only guy who wore more equipment than Leroy.
No, he didn't. I mean, his shoulder pads look like somebody just put some of those bra pads on. He didn't hardly have no shoulder pads. I'm more than sure when after the game, he didn't have to take much off his shoulders. His shoulders were just big. Look at that. Look how little his shoulder pads are.
The neck roll's bigger than the shoulder pads.
Yes. and let me tell you, his hands look tiny, but that's because he's so big. Dude.
I think it's also the angle there,
Terrifying. Look at that.
Did you just go angle on him, JFig?
I did.
Not a great angle for him.
Can I just tell you, every angle was bad. Because nobody could. When we played, look, understand this. In Minnesota, Jeff Christie maxed out at 270.
He looks like he just eats turkey legs.
No.
Can I tell you a slept-on visor? LaDainian Tomlinson.
Was that not the first name that I brought up?
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. This face mask that I'm looking at, though, I'm sure is in the latter part of his career. And I don't necessarily remember him having his best years with it, but this one looks cool.
I do want Patrick Paul to be good because he has a cool helmet. He has the Power Ranger helmet.
That's another thing sometimes. Like when the new helmet, like remember when Peyton Manning first was the one with that weird face mask and that weird, that was like, oh, we got new helmets now. Larry Fitzgerald also had that early on.
You ever notice it was smaller up top, so you didn't get poked in the eyes?
No, I didn't know that.
Instead of the visor.
I just thought it was different. This face mask, though, that
we had to do. Look, the other thing you did. You know why running backs wore that?
Why?
So you could do this. So you could keep your helmet forward, right? Keep your helmet forward, and you go like this.
Oh.
Look at the defense. But if you turned and looked, some dummy on defense, like, dude, they're so stupid. Listen. Because I would do this, right? Look out! He's going there! They point over there. I'm like, no, dude, I was just seeing the signal from the coach.
You never called Gilbert. Did you ever call Gilbert Brown? Did you ever whisper to him, you're stupid?
I did it to defenses all the time. Like, look at so I remember one time. And it's always the linebackers, right? Because they want to move everybody. And one time I said to the linebacker, I said, dude, why is it so important that everybody know? Right? Because you look like more of an idiot when you're wrong. I'm just letting my team know. You're letting them know the wrong stuff, dog. Let's go. We're just it's crazy.
Appropriately, we'll get to our favorite Tuesday game. The damage is done, my friend, is next. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you. Time to get to our favorite Tuesday game. The damage is done, my friend.
Damage is done.
Go around the room, say where the damage has been done that we've seen it. You guys get it at this point. If you don't. So mine goes to boy genius himself, Brad Stevens. Everybody was praising Brad Stevens. Oh, Brad Stevens, I can't believe you got more picks back for Drew Holiday. And all you had to do was take Anthony Simons as Brad Stevens. Well, guess what, dude? They got the medicals on Drew Holiday, and old Joe Cronin said, let me get the picky back. And so now you just traded Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons. But the damage is done, my friend. Sorry.
Oh, wait.
No
so
back
they have to give the picks back because Drew Holiday's hurt?
Apparently, they didn't love the medicals. And so they're like, all right, you just still take him. It's kind of awkward. So the picks came back.
Wow. And
damage is done, my friend. You got lemon law. At least it's not like the Marlins. You know, the Marlins one time traded for a hurt pitcher and they had to send him back.
Well, I will piggyback off of that because the Lakers made a trade last year and it got rescinded on the center and dude ended up balling out.
Oh, Mark Williams.
Yes.
Well, I think that the real hint on that might have been Dalton Connect because they traded him and then that skier before the medicals all went. And so he thought he was a Hornet. And now he's stinking up the joint so far in Summer League. And mind you, he ain't Kasparas Yakichonis, who's 19. This guy got a good he can get a good rate on a rental car.
Oh, he's that old?
He's old, Dalton Connect. He's been around.
Did he go to like Utah or something?
Tennessee.
Oh, okay. All right.
Tennessee. I understand why you would say that, though, intangibles.
No, but if he's older, like
you thought he went on a mission?
Yeah.
I get you. But anyway, he has not been off to an impressive start. Apparently, the big showdown everybody's waiting for this week is Cooper Flag versus Bronny. That's the most expensive Summer League ticket.
Really?
Yep.
You mean Cooper Flag?
What did I say?
Cooper Flag versus Bronny.
Yes,
like they're going to see Cooper Flag.
I guess. I thought it was Cooper Manning for a second. I was like, wait, what? Anyway, that's my damage. What's your damage,
Damage is done.
So I was telling Marcos, I don't think we've ever addressed this, but I'm gonna bring it up because I want.
Yeah.
Remember when the Oilers booked out that restaurant to like if they were gonna win the Stanley Cup?
Yes.
I did hear about that.
The Panthers on the parade ended up ordering from the same restaurant sushi.
I did see that.
And I just thought it was so petty and so funny. And I had taken a picture of it to bring it up a long time ago, and I completely forgot. So the damage is also done on that. But I just wanted to, bring it back up because it's a very important.
Who you think was leading that charge? Kachuk? He seems to be the most petty of them all.
The one that was holding it, I'm trying to see who it was.
They all kind of seem.
Yeah, Lundell was there. I believe this is Barkey. I can't see faces that much, but
they've all been kind of petty.
Has anybody found Anton Lundell, or is he just partying up and down Las Olas the entire time?
He might be somewhere buried in the sand.
Well, don't they go back home right after the season?
I don't know if he does. If you're Mr. Las Olas, feels like he's like, this is basically Finland to me. I think Anton Lundell's in Finland.
No. I mean Las Olas.
Oh, that's his home.
That's his home.
What's your damn? You know what? We forgot to bring something because the Norman Powell news distracted us. But you go first, Frog Boy, and then I'll get to what else we forgot to get to yesterday.
See, we keep forgetting things, and I apologize.
That's unfortunate. You guys gotta stay locked in. I'll be quick with mine then because this is the moment in the show where I usually bring up some sort of brawl, and that is yet another.
Wait, before you say, you know who was holding it?
What?
You know who was holding it?
Oh,
it was the polar bear.
Oh,
I just saw it. Okay, sorry.
Now, speaking of hockey players, imagine Leroy, you're at a golf course and someone is mouthing off and doesn't realize the person they're mouthing off to happens to be a former NHL player. That's what happened in this video here, where a guy, as you can see, gets the high ground with his vice shirt and thinks that he definitely has it. He's doing a
Hey,
lot
does it make you more manly when you grab your junk?
I don't think so.
No.
And as you can see here, he attempts to push this man who's off camera before eventually getting pushed into the pond.
Oh, God.
And then after he gets pushed into the pond, the little man, which I'm not sure what they were disputing. I think after you get pushed in the pond, you should probably stop fighting. But he gets up and he decides, I'm going to go toe-to-toe with this man. And he gives him the old hockey punches. As you can see
Yeah,
here,
grab the shirt. He grabbed the shirt.
Good for him,
Bad habit.
he just grabbed the shirt, and that's when you know you definitely have a.
Who the hell was
That's
that?
a big ass hockey player.
That is a big ass hockey player indeed. And I can tell you that is NHLer Nick Tarnasky, which I don't know who he is, but
Sounds cocky.
that sounds like hockey right there. Nick Tarnasky.
I thought the other guy was big.
Yeah, no, I mean everything's about perspective. As soon as someone of adequate size moved up, you realize
Angles, guys.
He's still trying to fight him.
it just doesn't go well for the other gentleman.
Dude,
He played for the Cats, didn't he?
Ow, his head bounced.
Tarnasky, he's even pointing at it like,
I
please.
think he
sir.
played for the. He played.
Why you like these wallet? Dude.
I think he played. Oh Jesus!
Stay in the water,
Hold on.
sir.
I think he played for the Cats in the Dark Ages.
I love the way he looked over at this other guy and said, "Do you want some of this?" No.
He just okay. Hold on. Look at he just tosses him. Gosh.
Look, that guy says, "No, I'm not your guy."
He's barely
Look.
in a sweat.
That is
Unbelievable. He's still going.
Damage
You know what?
Done.
That's resilience.
Yeah, that's something.
You go boy.
Oh, you're
We didn't
wet. You probably got a few more holes to play, and you got your ass kicked.
All right. We didn't get to this yet. You know, I don't even have time now. We got to get to this because we forgot to get to Leroy's admission yesterday from the weekend. We'll take a break. Back after this.
Midday Sports
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. We take you till 2 here on the program. Let's get to our headlines this hour, which are brought to you by Doral Kia. At Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia miles and inventory at the Sport in Sorrento and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, great deals are at Doral Kia. Marlins handled the Cincinnati Reds yesterday, 5-1. Agustín Ramírez, 14th home run of the season. They'll continue that series tonight. Yuri Perez on the hill for the Fish. So we got that going for you. Also, the Heat, they are in Summer League action tonight against the Golden State Warriors at 7 o'clock. Paulo Banchero, he has signed a 5-year extension that could be worth up to $287 million. I believe the base is $239. It's good living.
Anybody a little worried about the Magic, or is it just me?
No, they've been building. They've been building for the last.
But they've been like
couple years.
steadily adding pieces, whether it be through the draft or free agency.
Yeah.
And quietly have been doing something. And the East is as weak as it's ever been. Halliburton down. Celtics taking a step back, which is good for the Heat. But I'm looking at the Magic like, I'm watching you guys. I'm watching you.
It's a matter on, and I think for them, you know, they do have a bunch of young guys. They do have some young guys that have been banged up too. So, like,
yeah,
when Jalen Suggs, I mean, if he's healthy, really good. I mean, that's, you know, probably the heartbeat of their team and what he can do with, you know, obviously adding Desmond Bane with his shooting ability. Yeah, they definitely got some potential to go. They go big.
Right. Franz.
Kind of have a little bit of like, you know, the Heat look. I mean, if the Heat don't end up keeping Andrew Wiggins, I kind of want to see what it would look like if they put Nico in the starting lineup with all three bigs, with Tyler and Davion, and then, of course, Norm coming off the bench. If they keep Wiggins, it's not, you know, it's going to probably be Norman and Nico, you know, together. That's probably what you're going to get a lot of. And obviously things get staggered. Everybody will get minutes with each other and whatnot, but just kind of think of that out of the box. But no, they're a good team, dude. They're solid. They're rock solid. I think that it's just a matter of is that squad going to take the next leap, and did they get enough shooting? Because holy crap, they were bad at that last year. They were, you know, as bad as the Heat's offense is, you know, they make the Magic make everybody look like Showtime Lakers. But they're a tough squad to score on. Like,
but keep in mind that was also Houston's problem.
Yep.
And they were the 2 seed. So I mean, you can win with defense, but you have to be like unprecedented.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was that, and it caught up to Houston. So the fact that Orlando lost to one guy who could do all of it, that kind of stifled them because, you know, they got a stud, but they needed that other guy.
All right, Leroy. We didn't get to this yesterday because the Norm Powell news broke and it kind of derailed us.
To what?
But you hit an all-time low this weekend.
I did.
With your revelation.
I did.
And you said you were.
I self-reported, so I should get some because I felt like
you self-reported, but you kind of felt like you were proud of yourself.
No.
I'm sure you were.
Listen, okay, I'll tell the story. So I went into Dick's to get some teas.
Sporting goods.
Dick's Sporting Goods. I mean,
as opposed to
just say the full name, you know?
All right.
Okay.
And so I go in, I get the teas, I'm walking out, and there's some workout stuff. Right. And it was a little outfit on the mannequin. And I thought it was men's. And I turned and I walked to the front and they had boobs. And I was like, whoa, this is a female mannequin. I'd never seen a female mannequin this thick. And so I'm like, oh my God, what have you done? So I text you guys and say, I just fat shamed a mannequin.
So you thought it was a portly man mannequin?
No, it would have been like, because of the workout clothes. If it was a man, it would have been fine.
Oh,
but then when I walked to the front,
standards.
realized it was a woman.
How chunky was this woman mannequin?
Yeah.
Big.
Demonstrate.
Now I doubt that you just saw it and were like, "Oh, this is a woman." Sorry, mistake, and then text.
No, it was a man. I walked in from behind.
Yeah.
I walked in.
No, but I'm saying
behind.
once you found out, I don't think it was as simple as you acknowledging that you were wrong and texting us. I do feel like somehow a few comments came out like, "Oh, this is a big one." Or something.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely laughing to himself.
Oh, for sure.
He's definitely laughing to himself. He's proud of himself.
Because, like, I didn't say it out loud, but I just thought it, and I'm like, wow, this is an all-time low. It's not even a person.
This is great.
Fat shaming a mannequin.
Unbelievable.
But I'm like, come on.
Unbelievable.
Like, you see the mannequin is
Come on,
perfect size or whatever. Nobody sees it.
Well, you know what? Those are unrealistic mannequins.
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna go back and take a picture.
Oh, you're gonna go back and take pictures.
So you want to visual. So you want to be able to like look at your phone at any time to fat shame this man.
No.
No,
I want you guys to experience what I experienced, so you would understand.
We don't experience what you experience because we're not fat shaming inanimate objects.
Yeah, we don't be thinking like that.
So I'm gonna do live too. I'm gonna walk behind it and say, "This is what I thought I saw," and then I went to the front and went, "Uh-oh."
You know what? Go back and apologize. Actually,
Let me ask you something, dude. You ever think, based off doing this at spring training, remotes,
look at his face. He looks
sporting goods stores,
the guilt is eating him.
you
alive.
had to make a covenant with God to try and stop.
I did.
Do you ever think to yourself, maybe you don't need replay material?
What do you mean?
I don't need you to go into the booth and be like, no. You guys got to see this chunky mannequin.
We're not going to agree with you here.
You're gonna agree with me.
No,
I'm telling you.
Guys,
you know what?
This is just
whenever I go to the store and I do see a mannequin that is not like the old mannequins, the newer versions where every body type is shown, I actually applaud to it.
You know what? Because you're a good person, Figgy.
It just caught me off guard. That's all I'm saying.
Get with the new.
Bigger people need clothes, and they'd like to know, not every mannequin to be skinny. They'd like to know how would it look on them.
No one is that skinny.
Leroy is a reason why we have flat screen TVs. He just used to walk around Best Buy like, oh, look at that one. Berg.
That won't fit in my living room.
Berg.
Come on.
He walks through Brands Mart.
I can't self-sanction.
That air fryer.
But here's the thing: it's a disingenuous self-sanction because you want to go back and you want us along the ride with you.
No, I want you to see it was a clear mistake
for you.
No, but when I take a picture of the mannequin, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I see what he means."
What was the mannequin wearing?
A workout outfit. Like it was some like knit pants, shorts with a short sleeve hoodie. I was like, "Oh, that's." Ooh.
Did it look like man clothes?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. So then when I walked up front, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Dade South says a murderer doesn't get any points for turning themselves in.
Wait, but that's no. I'm not committing a felon. This is a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Because the mannequin was thick.
Yeah, but you're a repeat offender.
Yeah, but
eventually enough parking tickets land you in jail.
I spoke the truth. The mannequin was thicker than we're accustomed to seeing. That's all I was basically saying.
Oh my God.
You literally said I just fat shamed a mannequin.
I know, because I was like, "Ooh, that's a big ass mannequin."
Okay, well, okay, there we go.
Make it better.
There we go.
Behavior has changed.
It's not okay.
You've been doing the same thing since we were in Jupiter, and you called a picture Chunky 52.
Dude, come on.
No, don't.
They make uniforms at different sizes. Why do you have to wear medium?
Schmeathan says fat shaming plastic is a new low.
I know. That's what I said. What did I text? I texted and said, I think that
I'm gonna go get some receipts.
I may have hit an all-time low. I just fat shamed a mannequin. That was my exact words. I felt bad for like
I've
3
hit an
seconds.
all-time low. I fat shamed a mannequin. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, dude. There's no help.
Is that what it looked like?
No. Because that that's a plus size, right? That wouldn't have caught me off guard, right?
No.
I don't understand why. I don't understand. Can you put that back up?
I like that you're.
I don't understand why the big one need to wear a jacket with her workout outfit.
Okay,
Leroy, what are you talking
the
about?
biggins.
You
The
don't have
green,
to.
look at the green one.
Yeah,
Like,
we see it.
why we need a jacket?
Why not? Some
It's
people are
good to-
self-conscious about
It's
that
good to know
stuff.
you don't fat shame the
Self-conscious, right? Why are they self-conscious?
Yeah, it's good to know you don't fat shame
-1.
the obvious people who need it. You like to do the borderline chubbies.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
That's not true.
We'll take a break.
I'm offended for them.
Davion Mitchell spoke today. He addressed the Heat getting Norman Powell, and Duncan Robinson says goodbye in a very heartfelt way. Back after this. Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Miami Heat back on the hardwood tonight in Summer League action. Last game of the California Classic. And then things turn up because it's Sin City time, dude. It is Las Vegas. Time to go defend the title.
Do you know the Heat schedule? Of course you do.
No, I don't. I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't actually. I keep, it's one game at a time here in the Tobin household, Leroy. Task at hand, we got to take out the Warriors tonight. That's what we got to do. We don't make it too big. If you try and tackle the summer all at once, you get sunburned. So in my mind, it's a one game at a time mentality because you don't know what that one game will be, decided on. It may be a game where we're trying to get Yakachonis going. It may be a game where Pella's holding the rock. The Arizona Wildcat twins, him and Keyshot. You don't know.
What are we know that he sometimes takes weird trips. What are the odds Jimmy Butler's in attendance?
0% chance.
Now, I agree. But if he is, super petty move, right? Not just a coincidence. This is an Jimmy Butler petty move.
Well, no.
You want him to show up to Vegas, or if Jimmy was in the Bay Area and he just shows up to his home building? Because tonight it's in San Francisco.
Can I say this? Jimmy would have only showed up if they had gone far in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, fair. But he did show up to a random Sioux Falls game wearing a Nico jersey.
He was playing for Heat, though.
He was. And he loves Nico.
What
and
I'm
Nico's not
saying
playing in Summer League.
What I'm saying is, petty only works if you won. If you ain't win, petty don't work. Because you ain't make no difference. And in fact, you played the same kind of basketball you played down here that pissed everybody off when you got to Golden State, except for those 2-3 weeks.
The schedule, since Leroy asked, the Vegas Summer League schedule is Friday at 4:30 p.m. You have the Atlanta Hawks at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. We pass that every time from the airport, Leroy.
Yep.
That used to be where all the big fights were.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I've been to fights at the T-Mac Center.
So they're taking on the Hawks Friday at 4:30. Then
so why don't they play? They don't play in the arena. The Verizon was it called?
The T-Mobile?
T-Mobile, yeah.
I don't think it's that big yet. I don't think that's what they do.
Because I mean, it looks like, to be fair, it does look like all Summer League games are at a high school gym.
Yes, but Vegas is becoming more chic. Like it's becoming like a lot of people go because it's fairly affordable. And so you go in for the day.
By the way, you got the bird flu on your computer.
What do you mean?
You keep freezing up.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
You got that Jennifer going on over there.
I apologize. I did not know I was freezing up like that, dude.
Whoa, what's that? What are we doing?
I froze.
You froze for 6 hours one day.
Oh,
it was
man.
only 4 hours.
That was bad.
Well, you know what? I fixed it.
Am I back? Because you guys are good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did I freeze up? I'm talking about the games, talking about the schedule.
Yeah, how affordable and
yeah. So anyway, they got Hawks on Friday, Sunday Cavaliers at 7:30. Same time as Love Island. Well, they'll probably be over for the Love Island finale.
When is this thing ending, dude? Gosh,
this weekend.
How many episodes are there in this?
It
Love
starts
Island?
this weekend.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Jennifer, they can't drag it out for another 2 weeks. There's nothing left.
It's too much already.
There's nothing left. I'm pretty sure somebody is going home. I think they're gonna do. Then they're gonna probably eliminate one more. Then the final four, they'll do the fancy dates, meet the family. Sunday's the final winner.
Well, I believe the meeting the family is definitely this week. Yes. Well,
Yeah, then that's a staple. Once you meet the family.
So now they've whittled down to all these couples to just 2 couples.
Yep.
And those couples meet the family. Is it like do they stay together after they're done? Like, I mean, I don't understand. I thought Love Island was, last man standing or whatever.
Do they stay together? What do you mean? Like,
how do you win Love Island? I don't know how you win.
How do you win?
People pick the winner.
And
so they'll pick the couple they want to.
America picks.
Oh, okay.
America
so
picks.
No more games, no more competitions, no more like, all right, we met your parents, and now I need you.
Drop it like it's hot.
They're gonna meet the parents, then they're gonna go on the greatest date of their life.
Oh.
They'll be on the, one person will be on a boat, one person will be in a vineyard, one person will go for a bike ride, and one person will go to the beach.
Do you hate, as a viewer of multiple seasons, do you hate this part of the show? Because it seems like
the worst. It's the least interesting. Like, Love Island is so strong.
It's so dragged out.
Yeah. It's such yesterday was by far the most boring episode of the year.
Really? I thought it was kind of funny.
Did you? It was.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Taking care of fake babies. First of all, like, what is this? This is like what is this? TGIF ABC? Like, that's a high school video.
I don't even know why they made them do that, because they're not even closed off.
Right. I don't know.
They're not even thinking about babies. Why would you? No.
The thing is, they didn't do movie night this year. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
So who's left? Is Huda still there?
Yeah, Huda's still there. She's still there. Huda's with Chris.
Dude, Huda has
I like Chris.
She's a mommy. I don't know what that means.
She is a mommy. She is a mommy. And so she was a pro's pro yesterday. She knew what she was doing.
Nice.
I think Chris kind of got the judgy eyes from her. Like, he got his first taste of Huda, because Huda's broke bad on all of her relationships.
A little intense because she is an actual mother. Yes.
Then you got Nick and Alandria, which was the surprise couple because they dumped Sierra, and it doesn't seem like Nick misses her very much because he seems pretty hot and heavy with Alandria. You got Amaya and Brian. Amaya's papayas. I'm team Amaya. And then you got Shelly and Ace. And then you got
4 couples left, 5 couples left.
And you got Iris and Pepe.
So they're not switching out. They're not switching out no more.
Nah, you're locked in now. I mean, somebody could break up, but you're not gonna win.
No bombshells will be coming in anymore, right? Please.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
Just Ariana Grande, probably dressed like a genie again, or Ariana Maddox. Excuse me. So Sunday, Heat and Cavaliers, 7:30.
This is Amaya papaya.
Oh my God, we forgot Taylor and Clark.
Taylor, yeah, they're probably the best couple. They probably actually love each other the most.
You think?
Ooh.
Wait, how long has this show been going on?
About a month.
Too long.
There ain't no love.
No, they're in love, dude.
I think they're in love.
Okay.
Taylor,
because they probably, just to be clear, they probably only honed into the one girl or one guy a week ago.
Sexy Sauce says, Tobin just started Love Island podcast already. I do. It's called Tobin and Leroy.
Really, though, if you're not breaking down these episodes next season, man,
I don't need to. I break them down with you guys. I don't want to talk about it by myself.
Clip it or something.
It's not like a Heat game. I want to, I mean, it's more fun to riff about. It is taking over, though. Like, I've never seen, I will say, Love Island has never been bigger, even though I thought this season was nowhere near as good as last year's. You have a lot of Johnny come latelys, but America Love Island, because of Ariana Maddox, has taken over Love Island UK. Because I'm watching Love Island UK with Mrs. Tobin, and that used to be the standard, right? And they're on the cheap skis right now, dude. I mean, like, they don't even have a host. They're in the middle of. Schmeathan says, "You talk about it at random Tuesday night loss to the Hornets." Well, the Heat really couldn't contain Con Knipple tonight.
Okay.
But dude, I don't know what's going on with the UK this season. There's a lot of animosity, but there's no host, and they're doing their recouplings in the daytime. It's very confusing to me. So the Heat play the Celtics on Monday, 8:00.
Okay.
Back to back. So you may not see Kalel that night. And then Thursday, you have, of course, Duncan Robinson revenge game. Heat Pistons. 4:00.
All right.
I'm just kidding. Duncan Robinson doesn't have to be in the summer league anymore. But did you see his goodbye, Leroy? Heartfelt.
I didn't. I kind of saw it, but I didn't read it.
Do we have this, Jennifer? Can we put up the Duncan Robinson goodbye? As Duncan Robinson said, fare thee well to South Florida. He said, man, it's hard to put into words what putting on a Heat jersey has meant to me. As an undrafted 24-year-old just looking for his place, Miami gave me more than that. It gave me a home. From Sioux Falls to finals runs, plural. I got to play for an organization and a city that welcomed me with open arms. While I'm so proud of the success that we had on the court, I'm equally proud of the relationships I built off it. Miami is truly a special place that I'll always consider home. Thank you, Heat Nation, for supporting me and having my back. In parentheses.
Most of the time. Yep. Because
what was that about?
You know what he's basically saying?
Hey, that's awareness, Dunks.
2 for 2. My ass was on the bench.
Bring up my music.
Play the sad music.
I'll love this city forever. Heart emoji. Duncan Theodore Robinson.
Does it look like he signed Dre?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why did he do that?
Very sloppy.
Or it looks like he was giving the middle finger.
Duncan Robinson. I got to be honest with you. I saw
like the middle finger.
I saw the renderings yesterday of him in the old photoshops of Duncan Robinson in the Piston jersey, and I got to say, it was weird. I was like, oh, that is weird, dude.
Was it weird in seeing D Wade in the Cavs or
it makes me want to vomit. I mean, when I saw Dwyane Wade with the Cavaliers, I remember what I tweeted when that came out, and it was like, it's like seeing Superman without his cape. It was so weird seeing him in a Cavaliers. The Bulls, it was like, all right, it's kind of the same colors, it's the same number. I'm just mad this is happening. The Cavaliers, I wanted to vomit in a basket.
Kind of like when I saw Gabe Vincent in a Lakers jersey. You know what? I agree.
It doesn't look like those trade talks are going well, Jennifer, by the way.
She's getting angry. She's looking at the window.
Almost cussed.
I have a question. Did he?
Why?
Have they revealed what number he's wearing? Because if he wears any other,
he's wearing 55. He's wearing 55.
Okay.
There ain't a whole bunch of people with 55 in the league.
No.
But I saw like a Photoshop picture here of him with number 7, and it makes me want to vomit.
No, I think they said yesterday he was wearing 55. I saw the rendering that they tweeted out was him wearing 55. We did though yesterday officially also get Davion Mitchell signing his contract, which was cool. Off night, he has re-signed, and he spoke today at Heat Camp. You got this, Frog Boy? We got a little Davion Mitchell from today.
Yes, indeed.
Davion Mitchell said that he is excited to be back with the Heat.
Back here with this group of guys, with this coaching staff, with this organization, man, it's completely different from the place I've been in, and they really take winning seriously here, and I respect that, so I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have him. He, signed. They got him on a good deal. He plays his ass off, and I mean, he shot the lights out last year. I don't know if that's going to keep up, but that was crazy.
Yeah, he wasn't known for his shooting.
He was definitely not known for his shooting.
Threes.
This dude was shooting. He was shooting like mother bleeping Ray Allen when he got to the Heat. Davion Mitchell also said that he loves playing for Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one is Coach Spoels. I think one of the greatest coaches of all time. So just learning from him, just asking questions from him. You won't get any better answer from anybody else, I think. And just my teammates. My teammates wanted me here. They embraced me here. They wanted me to be myself. And if I can be somewhere and be myself, I know I can be the best player I can be. For sure.
That's Goosey's.
That was probably why I played so long, because there was never a place I went where I had to be something other than who I had been my whole career. And it's once you find that spot, you stick with it.
Mm-hmm. And finally, Davion Mitchell, he reacted to the Miami Heat big trade of Norman Powell. This is what he had to say about
First of all, I mean, he's won a championship before, so he's been there. He's been through the thick and the thin, and he's been around really good teammates. He played with a really good team. He's a winning player. He plays both sides of the ball. He can score with the best of them. He kind of does it all. He gives it all dynamics. Even if he's not shooting the ball well that night, he can disrupt defensively. So you want guys like that on the floor that can help you win like that.
All right, there you go. Davion Mitchell speaking today at a junior Heat camp, which, by the way, is fantastic. And you guys should, if your kid likes hoops and wants to learn from the best like Tony Fiorentino, go check that out at juniorheatcamp.com and see what they got going on there, because the Miami Heat, they put on a great clinic all summer long if you're looking for something for your kid to do and he wants to learn some hoops. We'll take a break, mix things up on the other side. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you on a Tuesday. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch and free on the Odyssey app. You guys can check us on out. You miss any of the Tobin and Leroy show, you guys can check us out on the Odyssey app. You guys can get us on all of your platforms where your podcasts are available. Dolphins training camp just around the corner. Kane's not too far away as the Heat are making moves. And we're keeping an eye, see what the Panthers parties are doing this summer. Marlins playing pretty well right now. So keep up with everything. Listen to Tobin and Leroy on the Odyssey app, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Check that on out. Marcos.
Yeah.
Let's mix it on up, dude.
No.
Why?
Marcos. Let's mix it on.
You know, that's a good idea, Figgy.
What do you got for us today, Frog Boy?
Well, good sir, I have some reflection on the old Miami Heat trade.
Wow. All right.
We're actually going to cover a couple of trades that have gone down in South Florida in this mixed bag. Let us start with Mr. Zach Lowe. Of the Low Post.
Apple bottom jeans.
Boots with the fur.
Whole club looking at her.
All right. Okay.
She hit the flow.
Okay.
Next thing you know,
please.
Shorty got low.
So what's Zach Lowe say?
Well, no, you're gonna get 2 minutes of this now.
Okay.
Zach Lowe calls the Miami Heat trade for Norman Powell a heist.
This is a heist for the Miami Heat. What just happened with Norman Powell? I don't know where it really gets them for next season in the Eastern Conference. I don't know if Norman Powell is even going to start for them next year. But, I mean, this is like no harm, no foul to get Norman Powell for a year for this price. I mean, anything's possible in the East, I guess, but they're still, to me, pretty behind New York, Cleveland, and Orlando, and we can go, my Hawks. We can go down from there, but they're going to be in the mix with this. This is a nice bet for them, and you know what it gives them? It gives them someone who can just go north-south. This team has they make art out of it, but sometimes art can become a little tiresome of these like passes and cuts and fancy little handoffs and this and that. And sometimes it's like, can someone get the damn ball from north to south? Can someone get the damn ball through the paint to the rim? And Norm Powell can put his head down and do that.
Wow.
I like that.
I like the idea of like the Heat feeling like they heisted, they fleeced somebody, and then like as soon as the trade's over, Andy Ellisberg just puts on a ski mask.
That'd be cool.
Andy, what are you doing? Heisted him.
And he starts talking in his altered voice.
Ooh, talks like a bad guy.
Yeah, you don't know the witness protection guys.
we just fleeced Eric Clippers and Danny Ainge. We just traded two unathletic, slow guys for the greatest three-point shooter in the league outside of Steph Curry.
We know that's you.
No, it's totally not Andy Osberg.
No.
We're different. We're different.
You're still wearing suspenders in your
Suspenders are perfectly popular clothing item.
We have to back up 15 feet to fit you in the thing because you're so tall.
There's no one is safe, not mannequins, no one from him.
My favorite part is during Radio Taboo when Andy Ellisberg was a word, and the first one you were like, suspenders!
It is the first thing I think. He's the only man.
I mean, like, do you understand how ridiculous that is? This dude wanted me to guess Andy Ellisberg from Suspenders. We're not talking about, this is not Heat. This is not Heat taboo. This is all of the world taboo. And you give me Suspenders.
So I moved off it quick. That was the first thing that came to mind.
Oh, yeah.
But I see him at games and he's dressed to the nines. He's the only guy who wears suspenders. That's what I thought of.
I'm starting to grow in that game.
Radio Taboo.
It's a good one.
I like it. I like it. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll play it again. Play it again soon.
What else you got in the mixed bag?
More reactions from more trades around South Florida, this time in the football world. We're going to hear from Field Yates.
Yates.
Good name. It's a good football name right there. He's a bit confused as to what Miami will get out of this move for Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Here's the thing about this move from the Miami side. I think in a vacuum, if a team trades two players that weren't likely long for the franchise for a player in Minkah Fitzpatrick, who has been a 3-time All-Pro, who has not been at the peak of his powers the past couple of years, but is younger and is under decent contract control for the next few years, I'm okay with it. The issue I have with Miami kind of gets to what Kimberly was referring to, which is that they've made a handful of big bets over the past few years, whether it's trades or extensions or trades that led to extensions, a la Bradley Chubb, a deal that has not worked out. The Tyreek Hill extension, which, one season into it looked like perhaps, a mistake on Miami's part. We'll see if he bounces back this season. Jalen Ramsey as well, extended in September, now traded in July, Mina. It just feels like this is a team whose football business is often mediocre, and that's why one of the reasons why I think this team might be kind of heading towards the middle in the AFC as opposed to competing in the playoffs.
Well, let me say this, and this is why your past sometimes affect what people think of you in the future. So we can all come up with legitimate reasons as to why they made that move, right? They actually traded for a defensive back with a lot of the same success, but younger and on a better deal, a better contract, right? But when you look at it from the outside and you look at all the moves that they've made that haven't worked out and all the money that they've spent on guys who either been hurt or haven't, or had bad years, then you kind of look at this move differently. It's kind of the same way when Pat Riley was at peak powers, every single person he brought in, filled the role and it worked out. Kind of like Zito, right? Every single move that he's made last year, we're like, oh no, they let so-and-so go. They let so-and-so go. They bring in two guys. Everything works out. So if he brings in a guy right now, a new guy right now, and Bill Zito, everybody's going to say it's a great move. Why? Because his track record has indicated that all the moves that he's made have worked out. So you give it to him.
Yeah.
So he's going to be, whereas when you look at the Dolphins, when is the last trade or extension panned out? You got all these guys who are making all this money, and we're sitting here talking like, I hope they can perform to the money you gave them. And so from that standpoint, when you make another move, which the Minkah for Jalen Ramsey is a good move, but you have all this past history, so people are looking at it through a different lens than you would a Bill Zito. And I think that's why he comments the way he does, because you're a little skeptic when all the moves that you made haven't panned out.
Yeah, it's also one of those things too, where it's like, look, you boxed yourself into a place where you were at a point of no return with the guys. So whatever you get because you feel like you're going into a sunk situation anyway.
I think they won because guess what? They got a lot in return. Because we were thinking 5th rounder.
Yep.
And they get a 3-time All-Pro or Pro Bowler at a position that you got rid of everybody.
Yep.
A guy who's versatile that can move around. By the way, who complained about being moved around so much, and now he's been doing it his whole career. So, yeah.
And the thought was that, they kind of stopped doing that with him last year, and that made him less effective.
Right.
So, right. I mean, like, look, I think that it's a little bit, to cross what's a little bit like the Jimmy trade. Like, you go and you look at it and you're like, yeah, it's pretty good for knowing the situation of like, hey, you had to trade him.
Right.
and you were in that position. So if the Dolphins put themselves in, hey, we have to trade Jalen Ramsey, we're moving on, and you get a former All-Pro back, yeah, maybe he's not what he was, but he's certainly better than what they got at that position right now.
Position where you look at all the other positions. We can talk about experience or they haven't done anything in the league. Okay. But at safety, you definitely had no one.
Nah.
And when it comes to defensive football, you protect the middle of the field first. So that safeties, linebackers, D tackles, you protect the middle of the field. And all those other guys are allowed to eat because you've secured the middle of the field.
What else you got for us there, Simone Fontecchio?
Whoa, that's good. It's a new one. Terry Bradshaw seems to be on the hunt for a bit of a little raise.
Oh, okay.
He had some comments recently about Tom Brady and his contract with Fox. This was on a podcast. I'm not sure if you know, he's doing like some sort of podcast or some sort of.
Who is it these days?
That's a very fair point. His has to do with like plumbing and like HVAC and marketing and different things. I don't know, home improvement. People do crazy things. Nonetheless, Terry Bradshaw wants a raise and he blames Tom Brady.
The numbers that they did, the largest Super Bowl in the history, 126 million people. That's there's 330 million people in America. That is a ton. The Fox pregame show averaged 28 million for 5 hours. That's who in the world is going to sit around and watch that mess for 5 hours? 28 million. You know how much money they made? God, more money than plumbers, I can assure you that. 28 million. And I guarantee you, if I go in there and ask for a raise, well, we don't have it. We're running a little tight. Well, you just paid Tom Brady $37 million a year. I'll take it.
You get that deal,
man. Just a bad deal. That's what it was.
Wow. Hey, you know what? He's a what is he been? He's been in Fox forever. I get it.
Forever.
Yeah, I totally get it.
30.
It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like when CBS had to do that with Romo, you know, and they gave Romo all that money, and Nance is like, "Hey, man, Jim Nance,
who does more than just football."
Right. So I get it. I totally get it. Especially Tom Brady, I don't think is very good at that job, and I think Terry Bradshaw's better at what he does. But hey, you know,
Terry Bradshaw has personality.
He does. Now you get a little. They're replacing him with Gronk because Gronk's.
Going
to be the, you know, but
you just keep going.
Nah. I did. Well, I'm sorry. It's a little delayed. My bad.
Yeah, but he is definitely Gronk is the new Terry.
You think? Because the one thing I would say about Bradshaw is, keep in mind, before this became entertainment, it was about football, right? So they were hesitant in putting the clowns on shows like that. And Terry Bradshaw just kind of was both.
Yes. But that's what I think. Right. But I think of him as the comedic relief.
Right. But it's still, the starting point was informative and knowledgeable about football. I don't know, by signing Gronk, you accomplish the same things as you would when Terry Bradshaw came in. You see what I mean? So they're going to, like, Gronk is Gronk. But at some point, like, you're going to have to get down to it while still being Gronk. So I don't know how that's going to play out. But I know that when Terry originally started, it was more about the information, and his delivery made it entertaining.
All right. I'm sorry my connection stinks. I'll try and rectify that. We'll take a break. Final hour coming on up. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Final hour of today's program. Let's get to our headlines brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia models in inventory of the Sportage, Sorrento, and Telluride. And remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. Marlins, they'll continue their series with the Cincinnati Reds tonight. Yuri Perez on the hill for the Fish as they look to keep their road win streak rolling. They won their 10th straight away from Lone Depot Park last night. 7:10 is your first pitch from Great American Ballpark. And we'll see if they can keep it going. Yuri Perez on the hill tonight.
Out of curiosity, how many people watched that game? How many people were at the stadium? I think
in Cincinnati?
Yeah, they might be excited to play on the road because there's more people at the games.
It didn't look like it was that packed. Dude.
Okay. I was just curious.
What do we decide with this bet here? All right. I got money pending.
Well, I have a confession to make.
You did it.
You already sent it.
I already bet. I already sent it. I sent it in. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
I like it.
Because I didn't want anybody at Hard Rock being like, he's on to us, and they take it off the board. So it's already in. It's already in. I've already bet it. That's my spicy. It's going to be my spicy bet of the night. If you guys did not listen to the first show, can I have my music? Because in case you weren't listening, we will give you our spicy Hard Rock bet of the night, which is sponsored by Hard Rock Bet. Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida and the place to bet on your teams today and every day. Hard Rock Bet has props, parlays, and live play-by-play betting, and the no-regret first bet up to $100. If your first bet doesn't win, you get your money back to try again. Hard Rock Bet is offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. You must be 21 or older and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Like the summer league.
Be careful, though.
Spicy.
Why is it spicy?
I got greedy because plus 3,000 was too substantial to turn down in my eyes. Even though it seems like the thing that we have to sweat the most, according to the odds makers tonight, is the Yuri Perez strikeouts. That's what is like. That's tilting the odds the most in our favor, or the most. They're beefing up the odds the most. But I finally put in my wager, and I'm going tonight. Marlins Reds.
All right.
I'm going Agustín Ramírez to homer again because that place is a Little League park and he hits like a moose. I got Yuri Perez to strike out at least 7. That's what he did last time. This Reds lineup, they slumping. We're also going to throw in there a little bone to Canada. We know we've had a tough time with you recently, Canada. You're very mad at us for owning hockey, but that's okay. Apparently, we own hockey, and currently you own baseball.
The team that has the Stanley Cup is the farthest possible spot away from Canada.
Yep. It's an even trade. We took your pastime. You took our pastime. So right now,
did Toronto win in the 90s?
90s, yeah, back in the early 90s. But
With
right
the
now
original Guerrera.
Right now they're hot.
Right.
And so we're gonna put the Toronto Blue Jays to win tonight in our parlay because they're playing the White Sox, who are awful.
I like it.
They haven't won since the coach that got fired down here was there.
Ozzie Guillen?
Yeah.
Well, did you see rest in peace? Oh, no. Rest in peace to the great Bobby Jenks, their former World Series closer, remember?
No. Oh, yeah.
Big boy.
He
had a battle with stomach cancer, and he passed away over the weekend.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I played with a guy that had some kind of stomach issue and died.
Oof.
Eric Turner. Remember him?
Oh, wow.
Safety.
On a positive note with stomach issues and being able to heal up I saw recently Randy Moss, your boy, is returning to NFL on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. He's healing up. Happy to hear that.
Never knew what was wrong with him. Did they ever say?
I think it was bile duct cancer. I think is what they said.
Yeah, that was it for sure. I remember thinking I didn't even know what that was, but glad to hear he's doing okay.
Yep.
I love him on TV too. He's
well, like the one thing I could say about Randy, he's been absolutely consistent as long as I've known him with who he is. Right? Every time you talk to him, every comment that he makes, everything he does has been true to who he's been. And whether I like it or not, I can appreciate that because he ain't a phony, right? And all the stuff that they would say about him at, around the end of his career when he was going from team to team, right? Think about this. Have you ever heard a player say anything negative about Randy Moss?
Nope.
So that's where I go to when I want to know the character of a guy, right? I don't listen to people who had a bad experience with him or people that want to stand on their soapbox and look down on players and stuff like that. There's only a problem when your peers come out and say, oh, he was this or he was that.
And I think Randy would like us to moss this bet, which is why I've thrown in the Heat winning Summer League tonight against the Golden State Warriors. We got it tonight at plus 3,000.
Woo-wee! That's value, dude.
It's value, dude.
Come on.
Wow.
But there's a reason why you got value. You understand that, right?
Well,
Me personally,
nope.
I think the hardest thing to get is going to be the home run.
Because for him to do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Back to back.
I mean, the strikeouts, that's a good call. Yeah. The Marlins, that's a good call. Toronto is a good call. But the home run is too iffy. Right? Like it's too
I wouldn't do it if it was at Lone Depot. But the fact that they're playing at
Cavern.
Yeah, the fact that they're playing at that Little League park, I still think he can get another one.
I love the way they just look at.
Why do you think I should have gone Stowers?
No, I just think they look at. I think sometimes they just look at the Google view of an area and say, yeah, we can fit a ballpark there, and they start building. And it's like, left field is going to be 200 feet out. Let's make it 100 feet up.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. When they started building all these parks, it was like them, Philadelphia. It's like you hit a pop fly. It's out of there. It's just,
But my question is that why can't you build a park that's symmetrical around the outfield?
I don't know.
Like even Boston.
Don't know.
Like the deepest part of the field is a nook in right field.
There's
a nook. There's it goes short porch, nook, center field, wall. Like, what are we doing?
Sorry, I'm not gonna lie, I'm distracted. They're doing a hat thing on Good Morning Football, and I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Isn't it Good Afternoon Football at this point?
It was, yeah. At this point, they're probably just a replay of some sort, but I just don't like it.
Who is that? Kyle Brandt?
It looks like Fred Durst. I'm not sure really what's going on there.
All right.
I'm not liking the hat thing.
Lucas says change Agustín to RBIs or go Stowers.
Too late.
Oh, okay. You want me to be a chicken, huh?
I'm just saying from looking at numbers and just figuring out, okay, how many home runs is going to lead this team? 30, 35 tops, right? So that means
better than I thought.
162 games and 35 home runs at the most, and you're betting a home run, right? Yeah. He's not going to hit a home run in 100 and what? Was that 127?
He's been killing the Reds all season, though.
Again, I'm just looking at the numbers. And I'm just saying that's why that would be the hardest one to get. The thing I hate about pitching numbers, though, is if dude get a blister, he's out. He could have 4 scoreless innings, get a boo-boo, and done. And he could be cooking at that point. So, yeah, but I don't even think that's the hardest one. You're going to strike some fools out. What does he say? It was 6.5?
6.5. He's got to get 7.
Yeah.
Which is what he had last time, which he had probably his best start of the season. You know, he's working his way back from old TJ.
Now, here's the kicker. There's too many variables on the pitcher, namely the manager, right?
Mm-hmm. Pitch count.
Right. So, yeah.
But I'm going with a slumping team. That's what I'm betting.
I understand. I understand. That's why I say I'm okay with it. When I discuss it, I'm okay with that. Because I can see bad team. He's been cooking lately. So keep it going. The home run thing. No, you're just being a killjoy as usual. No, I'm not. Like, don't let reality get in the way of your bet. Like, I'm like, yeah, they have something else being the hardest thing to get. The home run is the hardest thing to get. Just in general. Who leads the league in home runs?
Oh, no.
They have 30?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. What's the oh, no?
I was trying to calculate what the odds would be tonight if I switched to Stowers home run.
3,500.
But Hard Rock locked the no, Stowers is actually he's got better odds than Agustín, but not by much. But they've locked the Heat odds. What could that mean? Nowhere tonight?
Oh no. This is why huddle up.
I still believe in Dane Danger.
Everyone.
This is why
all right, everyone.
We don't bet summer league games.
Break.
It's just like the people who say, I like the money on people betting for week 1 football games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious?
Rookies.
I don't know by Beasley if there is nowhere. I'm just saying they locked the odds, so I'm wondering if somebody's out tonight.
That's maybe maybe there's idiots out there that they're going at Hard Rock Bet. They're going, hey, boss, we're getting a lot of action on this game.
Yeah, exactly.
More than we should be.
Maybe
lock it up.
Yeah, they're like, what's going on here? What's going on? It's like, we got ourselves a Beasley. We got ourselves a Malik Beasley here.
Really?
What? A lot of action on Summer League tonight. He goes, where is it? He goes, that guy who killed us on the Cal Raleigh Jazz Chisholm bet. I can't help that I'm this spicy.
It's spicy.
Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the show. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. As you got the Heat back in Summer League action tonight. You got the Marlins in action tonight. You got Love Island back in action tonight. It's all happening for us, baby. What? Summer event of the year, dude. Wimbledon's going on too, yeah?
Yep.
I've been watching, yes.
Have you?
They have an American on the men's side. Want to hear something pretty amazing?
Sure.
If he should happen to win Wimbledon, he will be the first American since Pete Sampras.
Wow.
25 years ago to win Wimbledon. Wow. That's crazy.
Man. That'll also upset them because we have the American winning in their club. Oh, they're going to win? Do you see how Tyler Herro got tricked by that British stylist?
I mean, tricked. How was he actually tricked?
He got tricked, dude. We found out how he got his eyes bleached, and this lady's like, "We should bleach your eyebrow," and he was like, "Huh? Don't bleach it, those eyebrows, love."
Listen.
Okay, hold on. Was that?
Also, I don't think that's British.
I don't think he knew what he agreed to. I don't think that he knew what he agreed to. I think that he went to that stylist chair, and because you're a stylist from a fancy land, that you feel compelled to do what they say. But especially when they're talking about this.
Wait a minute.
I don't know what they're saying.
Hold on.
She specifically said that if you don't like it, you can just dye it back.
Yeah, that's always the out.
Time out.
Yep.
Are we saying with a straight face that we are going to get our hair done for somebody that sounds like a Peaky Blinder?
Yeah.
Did you see the video? She just sounds nothing like that.
She sounds like that.
No, she doesn't.
I think Tobin could be taking the nap in his favorite chair, and you could just turn on an English-speaking show, and he'd wake up.
Perhaps.
He'd be like,
I don't feel like he wanted to bleach his eyebrows, JFig. I think he wanted to be polite to the British lady, and also I think that her accent tricked her.
No,
I think you're right.
This is not a Leroy situation where you got duped by your daughter and your wife.
He was tricked too. He was tricked by a Canadian.
But he paid for it.
No, but I think that I think when you're
she was Canadian.
No, I was saying Big Spoon.
Oh.
No, I'm saying that I think when you're in a foreign land and you want to be polite with the culture there. And so he's over in England and he's doing a photo shoot. And the lady's like, love it, bleach your eyebrows, Peaky Blinders.
I love how you can understand only 2 words. Bleach your eyebrows.
That's true though, because if an American stylist was like, "Hey, we should bleach your eyebrows," I'd say,
Right.
"Shut up."
People do
Like,
that.
yeah, let's bleach your eyebrows. He goes, I don't think so. But now because you're in a foreign land, you're like, the king does it.
I don't want to be offensive to the king.
My daughter said, "Make it blue again. Make it blue again." I'm like,
Right.
"Stay away from me."
I bet you if a British stylist told you that, you'd be more inclined to dye it blue.
No, I wouldn't.
I would say absolutely not.
We're gonna make your blue beard, bruh.
Figgy, can I hear your British accent? I think I just heard that. I think it's almost as bad as my Pat Riley.
You really thought? No.
British and Pat Riley at the same time.
Speaking of, did you see this? You see this Simone Fontecchio? He did an interview. Now I had to translate it from Italian, so I don't know.
Oh, he doesn't speak English?
No, he speaks English, but I think he's over in Italy.
So you know what sucks? I don't trust you.
Why?
I don't trust you to have stuff translated, because by the time we get it, it gets Tobin translated, and we never know
We
what
can
the
usually
hell the
tell
person.
what's translated. So,
Right.
What does it say?
He said it to the Italian newspaper Centro.
Centro. Mhm.
So I don't think he's doing that interview in English.
Right. Okay.
But he said he was talking about the trade. He said it's from Basket News. He said, honestly, it's still fresh news. I don't know what the plans they have for me. Haven't thought about it much. I already experienced the trauma of being moved from one place to another when I got traded to Detroit. I still see this as an opportunity to know the USA even better. And trust me, you're going to like Miami better than Detroit, dude. Trust me. when you go out and you see the sun in the middle of December, you're going to like it a lot better.
I mean, Italy's not that bad.
Huh?
Italy's not bad.
Yeah, Italy's not bad. I'm talking about freezing your ass off in Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He said, I just got traded to the Pistons, and one of the first few games I played against Detroit was against Phoenix, where Kevin Durant was playing at the time. During a break in the game, Durant came up to me and said, "We tried everything we could to get you here, but we couldn't do it. It was a great show of respect from a champion of the game, and it made me realize how much he thought of me." So how about that? We basically got Italian Kevin Durant. Like, we didn't get Kevin Durant, but if Kevin Durant wanted Simone Fontecchio,
dude, you need to stop.
No, I'm telling you right now.
You need to stop.
If Simone Fontecchio is telling you Kevin Durant wanted him.
In effect, you're saying we got Timu Kevin Durant.
No, I'm saying we got Italian Kevin Durant. Is Timu Italian?
No.
Good call.
No.
Those sizes are.
Yeah. No, dude. I got a shirt one time. I had to get like 5X just to like fit a little loose. I'm like, what? Are they doing this on garden gnomes? Because their size chart is just terrible.
I'm just going by what he said, dude. Don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger.
I'm telling you to stop.
If Kevin Durant went up to Simone Fontecchio and said, "Hey, we did everything we could to get you here because you're basically Italian me," what am I supposed to do with that? I'm supposed to ignore that? I mean, if you guys want to ignore it, I'll ignore it. But don't come, don't act like it's a surprise if Fontecchio starts pulling up from half court and you're like, oh, he's kind of like Italian Durant.
Hold on, this Simone Fontecchio character, little mix in them. A little mix going on here.
I don't know.
Well, that'll tell me how.
I'll let you know right now.
Yeah. Give him a quick look over.
Because
Oh,
here we go. Italian basketball. Whoa.
Some of his best games against the Heat last year.
Wow.
He averaged 5 points a game.
Well, he was hurt, not the same role last year.
Hold on, let me see.
Even Kevin Durant had down years.
Hey.
About 5 points.
Marcos?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
What's the least amount of points Kevin Durant's ever averaged in a year?
23.
Imagine that. Like, down year for Kevin Durant. Only 23 points this year. Oh my God. Nah, I'm seeing him with the long hair. Nope. That is all intangible right there.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Kevin Durant averaged 20.3 points his rookie year, but since then, he's averaged at least 25 points.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw another picture and I changed my mind.
But if you convert it to Italy, it's kind of the same, dude.
How tall is he?
He's 6'7".
Oh, so he's not even okay.
6'8".
All right.
He's like an Italian KD. Thought of that myself.
Exactly.
No, you didn't.
Nah, man.
Take a break. Final segment coming on up.
Want more? Like she a groupie and I ain't even no tour.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take it, guys, up until 2 here on the program. People didn't like Italian KD. That didn't go over well in the chat.
Absolutely not. I tried to warn you. Y'all don't listen to me.
I did tell you too.
Italian KD, first of all, KD's 7 foot.
No, not proudly, because he tries to lie to us.
That's because, you know why? Because when you came out of high school and college like that, the first thing everybody does is they don't look at your skill set. They look at your height and put you at center. So you don't tell them you're 7 feet. Then they say, oh, okay, now he can play 3.
Sounds like the strangest lie ever, because
But it's true. It's true. Right? That's kind of what made Lamar Odom so unbelievable. He was 6'9", 6'10". It can handle the ball like a point guard.
Fontecchio's going to do things, dude. Spo's already cooking.
Really?
He's had some of his biggest games against the Heat, too. Even going back to his Jazz days.
Biggest games against the
That's
Heat.
not true. That's not true. I'm not,
Who struggled against the Heat?
Who has struggled against the Heat?
Yeah.
Trae Young.
Yeah, but he's also a guard gnome.
But he's an all-star, a multiple-time all-star.
All-star guard gnome.
Paleo wants to know any trade updates. No trade updates. I think the only thing that's like, I guess a question is Terry Rozier going to be on the roster? Like, that's, I guess, because I don't know who's trading for him. I got to be honest with you. Unless that's a salary match, I don't know who the hell's trading for Terry Rozier without taking another first-round pick. And I will riot if the Miami Heat attach a pick to him when you already attached a pick to get him. So I would rather just say,
that means Terry Rozier would have cost you 2 first-round picks?
Yeah, I let me tell you something right now. JFig, go to the window right now for me, if you don't mind. And just tell Pat, if you attach another pick to get rid of Terry Rozier,
Another pick to get rid of Terry Rozier,
Tobin is going to be very upset.
Tobin is going to get very upset with you.
Wow.
Thank you, Jennifer.
It's good.
Did I deliver well?
That was great.
You did.
Hey, next time you use the services,
You hear that?
Leroy,
sorry.
Next time you use the services of Spirit Leroy, you make sure you get the okay from me.
I wasn't using Spirit Leroy. That was Spirit Tobin.
You said
no. There's Spirit Tobin. Frog.
Yeah, but his window doesn't face Pat Riley.
Mm.
His window faces Hollover Beach.
Yeah, but I could yell at them. Put some clothes on. Is that good? I get the message across.
Yeah, can you go to the window for me?
Yeah, sure.
Tell them right now to put their clothes on unless we're able to trade Terry Rozier without giving up a first-round pick.
Put your clothes on or Terry Rozier's getting traded. Is that what you said? I think I butchered
No, terrible job.
Because he didn't even put the microphone
First of all, if you say that, that means if they take the clothes off, Terry Rozier's going to get traded. Like, yeah, they're going to keep him off.
Remain naked, everyone at Hollover, please. Bro, Tobin.
Stay
Can I just
nude.
make a small point to that? The people that are naked on Hollover Beach, in most cases, should not be.
Well, listen, we know that if they aren't supposed to be, you'll tell them.
Well, listen.
Put your clothes on.
Hey, there's a lot of, got to hold your hands up because everything is on the sand.
Okay.
Like,
You think they got those high pressured showers?
Oh, I do actually see a trade update.
Powell! Could I just tell you, That was some of your least amount of work.
What are you talking about, dude? That's that's radio genius.
One take.
That's
What do you
one take
mean,
thing.
dude? That's
One
editing.
take, one.
Wow.
I don't think you guys really appreciated the reverb on that. So if you could run it back one more time, Frog Boy.
Powell.
You hear the trail off?
I did say there was reverb, so
Oh, look at that.
I heard it.
Pretty good. I think
Also, one take.
I'm gonna hop on the remix. It's settled.
Yeah, because I'm not the lyrical Jesse Jackson, you know. Frog Boy is Jesse James. My bad.
Jesse Jackson is a preacher.
Well, that is a bit of a lyrical. That would also work.
Good with his words.
Good with his words.
It's a big word for me, dog. But if Art God Savvy wants to lay down a verse,
Yeah. Hold on. Listen. Let me give you a quick little preview. You think that I'm playing when I say I'm gonna hop on the remix? I got the power like Norman. Finally, free agency is not boring. We got an all-star for sure, and I'm sorry we sent Kevin Love to the Mormons.
wow.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Mic
Come on.
drop. Drop the
Hey,
microphone.
we got another verse. Hey, it sounds like we got another verse coming.
Guys,
But make sure that you have the chorus ready to go because just so we know.
So the 2 seconds of work you did.
Yeah, just make sure we have that in there.
Make sure you add some reverb.
Powell.
Nate's house. We should go with Kanye West's Powell.
Powell. No one man should have Norman Powell.
Oh man, we're back, dude. Love having a trade.
Yeah.
So you think out of curiosity, you think if there's any more moves to be made?
I think they need
they're
to
going to try to package get a package where they can send Terry and Wiggins out of here. I think they like Wiggins.
I think they only want.
Really do.
I think it has to be a fleece for Wiggins. I think they're only trading Wiggins if it's like if they get a first round pick for Wiggins for sure they're going to trade him.
But I think they like Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah,
like,
which is
they understand what he went through when he came here.
Right, but
Okay.
if you get a deal that's too good to be true, you're like, you know, like getting.
You can say I trade Andrew Wiggins, but you got to take Terry with him.
I mean, Jesus, what is that? So we're getting LeBron back? Like, what is that trade? That's $50 million.
That's true.
That's a lot of money.
Which is probably why all the guys on that pay scale, which is probably why they can't do it, because they're going to end up with somebody worse than the guys you trade, or at least Wiggins. I think Wiggins, if he has a year to get comfortable, to get situated, I think he'll be fine.
Agreed.
I mean, it's like, man, we don't cut athletes a break for being human, right? You say, oh, that's just your profession. It still doesn't mean there's not human emotions in that. Moving all the way across the country, right? So me personally, I like his game. And I want to give it a shot. To everybody else, I understand because he's very streaky. And he goes from scoring 15 points in a quarter to scoring 2 for 3 quarters, which is nerve-wracking. I get it.
Yeah, but it's also if you have Powell here, there's not going to be as much pressure on him to score, which is good.
Right. Like I think it's one of those things where he'll give you more if you require less of him.
Mm-hmm.
But if you approach it like Wiggins got to be our second leading scorer, then you might not get what you expect. So yeah, I think having Powell takes a lot of pressure off a lot of guys.
That's why we got the Powell.
How about this one? Davion.
Not only do we have the Powell, but
Mhm.
I was sent this and I promised I was going to put it up.
Oh, wow.
Not only do we have the
A Power Ranger.
Power Ranger.
Power Ranger.
Power Ranger.
Scoring
time.
That's pretty good. It's scoring
Straight up.
time? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's good. Hey, look at us. Look at us, guys. Look at
Bits,
us.
dude. Look at we're just a bag of bits.
We're just so good.
You're a bag of bacon. Bits.
Go back to Dick's story.
You know what? That's our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you rascals tomorrow.
Powell!
Oh, stop it.
I'm a Pantera fan. I'm a Florida Pantera fan.
Whoa.
No,
Vamos
you
Gatos.
Yes.
You Pantera bread fan.
Panera Bread? Hold on.
Come and find me, motherfuckers.